Okie doke. Let's do this. Let's start at the beginning.
Let's do it.
My name's Devon Tracey. I'm in a bed in Melbourne. It's late at night. I'm coming to you low-key. Low-key is, what is he, the god of mischief? He's played by a British actor.
Mm-hmm.
Low-key is also the way that Andy Worski pronounces John Locke.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess it's a Canadian pronunciation, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Another guy from England. I don't think he's ever left the island.
Yeah, I've been in Europe.
Well, you used to be Europe before you Brexited. What did you vote?
I voted to remain part of the EU.
He is Jay Turner. He is a Tory, not an official Tory, but you're loyal to the crown. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for you
Right.
Yankees, then I am a Tory.
Well, now I don't even know what party he's from. But first, let's get a general scope as to who this man is. Jay Turner, why should the world know you?
I have no idea why the world should know me.
Okay, well,
I'm just a jackass on the internet who makes videos and that's it, and shares my opinion with everyone out there.
Your Premier League team is the Red Devils?
Manchester United, yeah.
Okay. And you're a fair weather fan? When they started winning championships, you started following them?
Sorry, who fan?
A fair weather fan, a fan because they were winning.
Oh, no, I've been a fan since I was a kid. My granddad was from Manchester and he used to tell me stories as a kid.
Yeah, and when you were a kid, David Beckham was winning championships with them.
Yeah, kind of.
So all you've known is winning and success. But now that Manchester City is doing better than them, do you want to switch sides and support them?
Never.
So what's a Southerner? Why does a Southerner support a Northern club?
Because my granddad, he was the one that introduced me to Manchester United. And
what about Chelsea, Arsenal, or any, Wigan?
No, I guess it's just part of. I'm guessing it's something I've been handed down from my family, really.
Why doesn't Ipswich have a team?
Ipswich. I'm pretty sure Ipswich do have a team, actually.
Oh, it's not in the first league, huh?
No. Don't think so.
See, those are the hardcores, the guys that follow the third league. What do they call it? The C League or the?
Well, you have the Premier League, Coca-Cola Champions League, Premier 1, 2, 3, and then you have the conference, and then you have the non-league leagues, which is basically,
All the words are so grandiose too. The Premier League. It's so apropos for Britain to call their league the Premier League.
We did invent football, so.
Right, but then you go to the mainland and you get smoked by some other German squad, and then it's just like, oh, fuck. But the Champions League, the Premier League, I get confused. What's the number one most prestigious thing? World Cup?
No, I'd say it's the Champions League, which is the European Champions League, the UEFA Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I do love me some soccer, and I was actually rooting for the Germans. I must admit, living in Germany, I got to know those players, and when they went down to Brazil and beat the Brazilians badly, I was like really excited because I knew every guy on the team. I knew how they played. Does that make me a traitor? Am I a Nazi sympathizer now?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so
I mean, like you said, you don't even do football that well, so at least you picked a team. So.
Right. I pointed out,
and you picked a team that was in your home country. So talk about integrating into your new country. That's just good.
That's true. Although I'm not following cricket or rugby down here.
Oh, you better sort that out.
Yeah. Now
make the Aussies happy at least.
I addressed the one poster in your room that is not a naked woman. Are you trying to virtue signal your heterosexuality here, or?
No, that one in the corner on the left was bought by my ex. Actually, no, both of them were. So I just haven't took them down.
Is that Amy? Amy did something very similar to that with her food.
Why do you think Amy did it? We all think that she did it because of that poster.
Oh my God. Amy doesn't.
And actually, funny enough, that was on a live stream with you on this channel, if I remember correctly.
I think I told her to do it, actually. She couldn't resist. So we're talking about Jay's life and the changes that have occurred. Not puberty, but we're talking about things that have happened to him. But I guess in some sense, it's things that you did that engendered a reaction from other people.
Yes. Yes.
Let's go back a few weeks when you
Mhm.
got a letter. What was your first warning? So Jay is very politically active. He's I don't
Well,
know what started that. Were you always
hang
like
on,
that?
Devon. If you're talking about what happened before Christmas,
Hmm.
that wasn't the first time that had happened. I'd been suspended 3 times before that happened.
Okay, so in for the similar reasons though, right?
Mm. Yeah. For basically speaking out and not keeping my head down and not speaking out against certain
Okay,
things like Islam and so
so
forth.
Jay is different than most people. He's active in his community. It's weird. It's like when you see a beauty pageant contestant and they try to say, "What do you do when you're not being hot?" And they're like, "Well, I give back to the community and shit." Like that's what Jay does. Only he's not hot. Um,
Yeah, just without the hotness.
right, but he's politically active and he cares about England. He cares about the UK. He cares about his hometown of Bristol. And he was part of a political party known as the Labour
Yeah,
Party.
that's right. Which
Does
is
that
the
mean
left wing.
you're working class?
I would think I'm working class, yeah. But you
But
don't have to be working class to be in the Labour Party. You just have to be left wing.
Labour sounds laborious. It sounds like menial labor.
Yeah. It does.
I guess it has got a bad connotation, doesn't it? Labor. What does it mean in the British context? If you say labor, what are they referencing?
If you said just the word Labour, then but I would say most people would think of the political party, not
Right.
as in if I
But
was with a room full of Americans and I said Labour, they would think manual labor, physical work.
but the word labor has negative connotation to it, doesn't it? Nobody says, "Hey, do you want to do some labor today?" It's like,
Yeah,
"Whoa, cool. That sounds good." Laborious. This is bad.
yeah.
And it's headed by who's the head of the party?
Oh, Jeremy Corbyn, the
So,
biggest socialist going.
oh my God. So who was before him?
Before him, we had oh fuck, what's his name? Ed Miliband,
Oh,
and he
Miliband.
was a
Who's got
man
the
that can't
cocktail?
even eat a bacon sandwich. He was sat in a
Oh.
cafe and he's like this, looking like a spazzer as he's eating a bacon sandwich. It was pathetic.
Spazzer. I will translate for anybody who cares to know. Spazzer. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds spastic. It's beautiful.
Yeah, spastic, retarded.
Is it not politically correct to say spazzer?
Oh fuck, PC culture.
Well, that wasn't the question.
Yeah, well, of course it's not
Okay.
politically
Well,
correct to call spastic
why
or
did
spazzer,
you
but
why did you stop being politically correct? Because that's what the name of the game is here, in terms of what happened to you.
I suppose political correctness was fine up until a point, and then sort of 5 years ago. Well, I don't think anyone's really politically correct. We just sort of act politically correct. We don't say
So
things publicly that would get us in too much trouble,
yeah,
except
that's
for
really what.
me.
Yeah, it's interesting because the shit you are in trouble for, quote unquote, is stuff that I mean you're completely correct about, and it's not controversial at all, especially in an online context. So on
Mhm.
YouTube, if you made a video and just said the things that you say in public, nobody would blink an eye or just be like, "Oh yeah, whatever. We already know this." But if you say it in public, where in England, where everybody's sort of uptight and trying to pretend like problems aren't problems,
Yeah,
then you're targeted and smeared
yeah.
and stigmatized. And that's basically what's been going on with you.
But to be fair, I barely said anything in public, if you know what I mean. Everything I've said online, yeah, I will say that
Ah,
in
okay.
public. Don't get me wrong,
But you
and I
make your
have done.
presence known. They
Yeah,
know that you're a local guy. They know that you're affiliated with groups. So you're part of the Labour Party.
yeah.
And they know that you make videos and they know that you say things online on Twitter, Facebook. Where else are you active?
It's about it nowadays.
Okay. Um, and so, I mean, let's get to the issue. The issue was Islam that triggered you, rightfully so. And you took a stand on this,
Yeah, fuck Islam.
right? And you're against it, and people are trying to label you as everything under the sun. All the cliches, really.
Yeah,
I mean, what have you been called?
racist, Islamophobic, transphobic, homophobic, white supremacist, Nazi. I don't know.
What are you phobic of in reality?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you have any phobias?
I'm scared of Islam. So, yeah, I suppose I am Islamophobic. I'm fucking terrified of that barbaric death cult. So, yeah.
Right. So.
I got a t-shirt, actually, somewhere.
Okay, break it out.
Somewhere it is. I'll have to find it later.
So they view you as the problem.
Yeah.
Because you say things. I mean, you have a defense for this. It's not like you just say something like that and you can't back it up.
Exactly.
Do they ever put you to the test? Do they ever give you a chance even? Or are they just happy to label you and be done with you?
Well, if we take a look at the Labour Party, so the first 3 times I think they were done for different things. The first one was arguing with a feminist in a closed group within the party. So yeah, okay. It's a non-irrelevant conversation really. And this was probably like 2 and a bit years ago. I can't even remember what it was about. And she basically
wage gap.
I don't even think it was about the wage gap, but I think I did say something about the wage gap. But anyway, I remember the email I got through actually, because I got suspended from the party for 3 weeks because I had liked a video that had Milo Yiannopoulos in it and another video that I liked that was Leafy is Here, when he was just taking the piss out of some batshit crazy feminist on YouTube.
Right. So you were straying from the mainstream, the party line.
Yes.
And
yes.
You were basically not regressive enough for them.
You just hit the nail on the head there, mate.
So we have a non-regressive among us, and he must be expelled. So they suspend you 3 times, and then finally they boot you out of the party.
Yes. Yes. And they booted me out of the party because I had made a video about Anne-Marie Waters and her new political party called For Britain. And I didn't shit all over her, and I didn't call her a racist or Islamophobic or anything like that. I basically said that I agreed with her on a number of viewpoints, especially Islam, obviously. I did mention that I disagreed with her, and then I said, good luck to you, and I hope it all goes well. And that was pretty much the video. And then...
Okay. So yeah, you were not saying what they wanted you to say, and they just said, okay, enough is enough, get this guy out.
Mm-hmm.
So then you ran to the open, loving embrace of UKIP. Explain how that happened.
UKIP? I haven't joined UKIP. I haven't joined any other political party since.
Okay, then why is it that you are affiliated with Tommy Robinson, have met with him, drink with him, are friends with him? Are you EDL?
No, I'm not EDL. As much as you want me to be EDL, Devon.
Are you part of any other? Are you part of any other dissident groups like Underground, some sort of, I don't know?
No.
You're not part of like an offshoot of Antifa or?
No. I'm not part of like Generation Identity, which is like the right-wing version of regressives.
Do you know how to make a Molotov cocktail?
Yeah, it's not hard, but why would I need to?
Well, you have Googled it.
Well, no, but
where do you stand on the IRA? Where do you stand on the new IRA? And do you think Northern
Who cares about the new IRA? The new IRA didn't do nothing but go around beating up pathetic drug dealers.
Do you think that Northern Ireland should be Irish or English?
I would love it to remain being part of Great Britain and the United Kingdom, but at the end of the day, if they want to hold a referendum and rejoin Southern Ireland, I will support their democratic decision to do that. But if the majority want to stay, then I will support them staying.
And what about Scotland? Do you want them to stay or leave?
Of course I want them to stay.
And what about Wales? Stay or go?
Yeah, of course stay.
Why is it that everybody hates English people? Why do they all want to leave you? Except for the places you colonize, they all want to come and live in London, Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah, or they want to rejoin.
Yeah. Do you take offense that people want to break apart from your beloved UK?
I wouldn't say offense. I'd say it's sad, because I think the United Kingdom it's more than just a country. We're a collection of countries that are united in solving our problems and.
So you're like the Borg, but with bad teeth?
Yeah, but yeah, you could say
If
that.
you
Yeah.
could eject one city in England from the United Kingdom and just chip it off and shove it out into the Atlantic, what would it be?
Oh, we might as well just get rid of Hull.
Not Liverpool?
Oh, good point, actually. Good point. But Leica's there, so get her out first, then we could do that.
Okay, so going with helicopters, pull like a.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Black
Okay,
Ops style.
nice. I like it. Okay, so how much pain did you experience when the Labour Party kicked you out? Did you try to appeal it?
I've appealed it 3 times in the past. That's why I was still a member
Hmm.
before all of this happened.
What does it actually mean? I
Um,
mean, you can still vote for whoever you want.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Basically, what it all comes down to, when you're in the party, you get to vote for who the actual leader of the party is.
okay.
Um,
But are you
and
just a
I,
political wonk? Are you just LARPing? I mean, what is the point of going to these meetings? Are you trying to hook up, or what's the deal with this?
but first I
Why?
was just going to find out stuff, and
But Jay,
um,
did you not get the memo? Like, old people are supposed to be interested in politics. You're
yeah,
not old. You're
yeah, I
supposed to
know,
be
but
interested in
I
yourself. And
find it a little bit interesting.
you do.
So
You want to change the world.
I don't know about that. I mean,
You
yeah, I
want
would
to.
love to see it change, but I ain't gonna fucking change it.
So you want to make the world Great Britain. You want to. You want the new empire. The Empire Strikes Back.
The return of the empire. No. Well,
Okay, are you
I mean, if you
pissed?
want to put options on the table of what we could do for humanity that would make it better.
But I don't think people know this guy loves the royal family. He loves everything to do with Great Britain. He loves the culture, the food, the tea. I mean,
Oh,
he is a
definitely the
living
tea.
embodiment of patriotism.
Yes.
Um, and you have no shame in your game when it comes to colonialism.
No, I don't think colonialism was that evil as it is
You think
portrayed.
you think it's insulting when people say, "Hey, what's wrong with like making your land our land? Like, we gave you a lot of good stuff. You
Yeah.
should be
What's
thankful."
wrong with us making your country better than the shithole it is at the moment?
Well, you did take them over and take their freedom and force them into it.
Yeah. Not always, but yeah.
It's kind of weird because history is in the past and we find
Yeah.
ourselves like we have these unresolved issues. Basically being alive in the present moment is like finding yourself in the middle of some traumatic, you know, codependent relationship where you haven't resolved all your old fights and it's like you got to deal with them. You're like, oh geez, don't bring that shit up again. I mean, what's amazing to me is you hear people bitch about the English in Africa today, and they've been
Yeah.
gone for decades. But they're like, well, it's still the post-colonial era. It's still they still want to
How
mention
long
colonialism.
is the post-colonial era, though? Let's be
Right.
real about this. Is it five
Yeah.
minutes after we've walked out the door, or is it for some countries, we're talking almost 100 years? So,
Well, but people have observed that after the colonial powers leave, the countries go to shit. Even
yeah,
worse, they go back to the
100% without.
where they were before we found them, which is in the
Oh,
gutter,
oh, yeah,
and all sorts of corruption and just Mugabe basically it goes to Mugabe, and
yeah, 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 exactly.
and then they sort of don't know who to blame at that point. Like, do we blame our own leaders, our own systems, or no? Let's blame the guys that left.
Yeah,
It's just weird. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
yeah.
So you will remain and have remained politically active even though they kicked you out. And have you tried to seek
That's
vengeance? Have you been snarky online? Have you posted hate?
no, I wouldn't say so. Not at all.
You don't take it personally?
No, not really. I mean, at the moment, if I look at it logically, it makes sense because Jeremy Corbyn is a massive regressive. Everyone that supports him is even bigger regressive,
Right.
and his puppets, the people that follow him, they have now taken control of the NEC, which is the national like elect committee that sits and sort of oversees the party and makes sure everyone's following the rules and whatnot. Jeremy Corbyn's minions now control that. So, if anything, I'm glad that I'm not in a fucking party that is literally almost 80% full of regressives and
And
stand
yet
for regressive policies.
you're going to swallow your pride and vote for them anyway.
Yes, because I still stand 60-something% with them.
60%. That's not
It's
rousing.
it's not like 64.
Yeah. Okay. Now, this is all well and good, but recently you had another dust up with the other group that you're involved with. What is the name of that group?
The Humanist Association.
Seems pretty vanilla. I mean, what are you anti-human?
I don't think so. I believe I'm pro-human rights and whatnot.
If that's the case, then why would the humanist organization kick you out?
So I'm not kicked out of the actual association, the group. I have been asked to step down from the committee of my local group. Sorry?
So we don't want you in a leadership position. We don't want you representing us.
Yeah.
You are bad for business.
Yes.
That's got to hurt.
A little bit, but at the end of the day, I've spoke up for what I think is right. So that makes me more happy.
They said you're anti-Muslim.
Well, the complaint said that I'm Islamophobic and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay. So they want you to be what, pro-Muslim?
No, I don't know. No, I would say that it's something that a friend told me was, if you're going to talk about Islam publicly, never, ever, ever say fuck Muslims, even though it is fuck Muslims. Don't say it publicly.
Yeah, right, it's blunt.
Stick to Islam. Just say fuck Islam, and
it's a branding thing. I mean, these people are such pussies, and look, you could say you're pro-human. That's why I called this video Jay Turner's pro-human, because you're pro-human rights. That's why you joined the group in the first place. And if a humanist organization can't see the fact that Islam spits in the face of their ideals, then what chance do we have? I mean, are they that filled with cognitive dissonance that they're just okay with living in that contradiction?
Well, so if we get to talk about the actual meeting that I went to, I would say that there was 3 people there, and then myself.
Did you show up armed?
No.
Not even like a shank, a shiv, any sort of metal object. Did they search you?
Why would I do that? Why would they search me? We live in a civilized world where we all can have a civilized conversation and not call each other names or have violence break out.
Well, I didn't want to bring it up, but you served 5 years for assault. He's been labeled a hooligan in the past. Now he's all like, he got the tattoos removed and whatnot, but back in the day, he was rough, chavvy.
Look, Devon, just because we had that night and you got to see all the tattoos that are under all my clothes, that was meant to be between us, mate. Our romantic together.
Okay, so you go in unarmed, very classy, but you had a chip on your shoulder. You knew what was coming.
Oh yeah, I knew what was coming 100%. Yeah.
And did you get combative or were you classy?
I was classy. I didn't get combative because that's what she wanted. There was this woman there, and I would say she was the ringleader of it all. There was one geezer on the left-hand side who pretty much shared all my opinions, and basically the group's issue was on my Facebook page, on my personal one, it said that I ran Bristol Humanists' social media account. Okay. So their concern, the 2 blokes, this is just the 2 blokes. The concern of the group was, if you're going to, speak out and whatnot, you can't be saying that you represent us, basically.
Okay, so they were basically passive-aggressively saying, you're a piece of shit, and we don't want you affiliated with us. But why are you trying to, ramp up your position and say, I am the head and the emperor of social media for the Humanist Association? Were you lying? Were you trying to, big up yourself?
No, it was just a simple mistake. When you get added to a new Facebook page as a administrator or whatever, it automatically adds it to your profile, and I just forgot and didn't remove it. Normally, when I do this sort of stuff, I remove that from my profile so I don't have this problem.
I heard in your bio it said Jay Turner, the bestest humanist in all of Great Britain. Okay,
That says
so
something about imperialism, actually. But yeah, go on.
okay, so you go in there and you had to bite your tongue because you wanted to just go off and be like, why are you people like giving cover to the fucking hideous religion that supports a beheading, bloodthirsty pedophile? Like, wake up. You know, how many terrorist attacks is it going to take? How many grooming gangs are we going to? Did you talk rape stats? Of course, they didn't want to talk.
They didn't want to talk about that. I tried. You know, when we, because their issue was the fact that I said "fuck Muslims" on Facebook.
On a spectrum.
Yeah, yeah, of course, on a spectrum from
From
"fuck you" to "fuck you more."
yeah, I mean exactly. That's the way it goes. I mean, look, it's not polite. And
No, it's
there's
not. And I made this point to them was that yes, because they're saying to me the humanists are trying to win hearts and minds, which is just I understand that and I agree with it. Yeah, of course we want to win hearts and minds, but there comes a point when we have to stand up and be like, enough is enough. Fuck these guys. This is a barbaric death cult that oppresses women, children, kills gay people, kills atheists, and oppresses minorities, even Islamic minorities, based on the fact that they might not practice the same version of Islam as the country that they're living in at the time.
Preach. And I think what you guys have to understand, you might be listening to this and you might not live with Muslims, so it's not really a problem for you. And you see it on the news, but it's kind of distant and you don't really understand. England, though, is being taken over. I mean, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but huge numbers of Muslims are coming into cities, and they're forming enclaves. Like you see it. Well, what's the worst cities with that? It's like, what's the one starts with a Birmingham? Birmingham is terrible, right?
Yeah, Birmingham's got massive problems. I don't know the numbers, but
right. And Luton is overrun. London, forget about it. I mean, and look, you're right. It is on the spectrum. I had an Uber driver today, a guy named Mohammed, and he was
oh, Devon, we can sit here all day long talking about how we all know Muslims that are amazing, that want to integrate, don't want Sharia law, don't want their sisters being genitally mutilated and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I know
Jay's long overdue for a genital mutilation.
Yeah, you want my foreskin off, boy. It's not happening. Now, you're fucking wrong on that, but we're not going to get into that conversation yet.
It's the important one. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Muslims are coming in and like they're animated, they're loud and proud, and they're marching in the streets. I mean, and they're threatening violence. You know, there's a subset of them who are. I mean, the Pew research on the British Muslims was shocking. Their support of ISIS, their support of suicide bombings, the numbers, the percentages was like out of control. Right. So you belong to a group called Gays Against Sharia.
Well, I don't belong. I just support Gays Against Sharia.
So you are in support of gay people?
Yeah, I'm in support of gay people.
So you are gay adjacent. Can we say? You socialize with gays. Is that fair?
Yes. Yeah, I socialize with gay people.
Okay. Have you now or have you ever been affiliated with gay people? The gay party.
What do you mean? Huh? I'm confused. Sorry. Affiliated.
I'm just trying to. It's a very mysterious. You have all these like symbols of heterosexuality behind you, and yet you actively participate in gay social activities. I'm trying to figure out: are you bi?
Oh no! I'm secure in my sexuality 100%. You know, I can go out to a gay bar with my mates who are gay and have a fucking great time.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why, because the women at gay bars are a lot fucking hotter than they are at the normal bars.
Okay. So
there's logic there.
True or false? Yeah. You hang out with a lot of women that you have befriended, and yet things remain platonic.
Oh my days, yes.
Okay, you know who else does that a lot?
You're gonna say gay people?
Gays. Now, is there a group called Straights Against Sharia? Well, you could have joined. Why didn't you join Straights Against Sharia? I mean,
because there is no Straights Against Sharia.
Why can't we start that?
I suppose we could if we really wanted to.
I think it's Heterosexuals Against Sharia would be a great group. I want that group. because it's so random. But what do you guys do? You go out and march, and it's kind of a publicity stunt, and people come and say, "Oh, look, the far right are here," and you're like, "I'm in support of Jeremy Corbyn." You're like, what the fuck? So they called you a racist. You've been called a racist.
I've been called it plenty of times.
You posted a video of a guy calling you a racist.
Yeah, I did actually. I went up to him in the street after he called me a racist. Yeah,
And it's not even like full on American version of you're a racist, which is, they're assuming that you're some white supremacist who hates black people. You're a racist for hating brown people.
Well, no. If you want to, that video we're talking about, I'm a racist because I said that the geezer who got tased in Bristol at the beginning of last year deserved it because he failed to answer police commands and resisted arrest, and also technically assaulted the police officer. Regardless of how hard you assault a police officer, you assaulted a police officer. End of.
And so you talked about the facts of the case and why you thought that guy should have been tased. And because the guy in question was brown or black?
He was black, the guy that got tased.
Oh, okay. Well, then you are racist, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I spoke out about a different race. Shit.
That's a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, it's tragic. And I've spoken out about police activity. And you're right. People just see color with that. They don't care about the details. Yes. And the lie is bigger than the truth. The lie is more attractive, is more sexy, and they just don't care. So you got labeled a racist by a real scumbag who you then retaliated against, and you didn't put up with it.
No, not at all. I mean, I don't give a fuck if it's some jackass on the internet that I'm never going to see in my life. But if you live in my city and you talk to people who I know, and then you're going to go around and tell those people that I'm a racist, then if I see you in the street, I'm going to come up to you and ask you why you think I'm a fucking racist.
You confronted him. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, damn fucking straight.
So just for the record, and this is, it's humiliating that we have to go through this, but I've been called a racist. You've been, I think everybody at this point, I think this is just a communal experience. Like there's just no way getting through this decade without being called a racist.
Yeah, basically, if you haven't been called a racist, then you're not really talking about the real issues in society.
No.
That's the way I look at it.
If anything, you're a nationalist.
I'd say more patriot than nationalist, but yeah.
Yeah, but you believe your nation is superior to other nations.
Yeah, I mean, look at
so
how great it is. We've got democracy. We've got enlightenment.
You got national.
I'm not saying that we as British people should have more rights than anyone else. I think we should all be treated the same. Exactly. But if you want to weigh up the differences between countries, yeah, I think definitely the West is advanced.
Sure, I agree. It's a great place, and you're one of many countries that, you should be proud.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me just run through. Do you have any problem with Asian people? Talking about Orientals.
Real Asians.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I love them.
Okay, so like Chinese?
Yeah, love them. Japanese, love them. South Koreans, love them. Filipinos, I love Filipinos. They're amazing.
Those are the easy ones. Now let's get to the real nitty-gritty. Vietnamese.
Ooh, yeah, they've got no problem with Vietnamese. They're lovely. They make amazing food.
Yeah, they do nails pretty good too.
Actually, yeah. Good point.
What about Cambodians?
Only ever met one, but yeah, always been sound.
But you do think they're filthy?
They got issues in their fucking countries, and if they believe in the things that their fellow countrymen believe in, then fuck them.
What about people from Myanmar? What do you call those people?
Myanmar.
Burma.
Isn't that one that's been like under a fascist regime or a military government for 40 odd years?
It's messed up. Yeah, they filmed the last Rambo.
Did it used to be called Burma?
Yeah, Burma. I kind of like Burma better.
Yeah,
Burmese.
Yeah, Burma is better.
Burmese python, isn't that something?
I think so.
It's like what am I supposed to call a Myanmar? A Myanmarer? Maya? Fuck them. Change the name back. Do you prefer Bombay or Mumbai?
Bombay is a cooler name, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess people have preferences and things change over time. Okay, where do you stand on the Mexicans?
Why are you building a wall with Mexico, America? What's that about? Mexicans aren't a fucking problem. Let them come in. Let them contribute to your society.
Yeah.
Take their fucking tax money. Make yourself bring them in. Take their taxes off them, and then integrate a socialized healthcare system. Sort your shit out, America.
Spoken like a guy who's an ocean apart from the Mexicans. You come down to Tijuana, come down to San Diego, and you're going to be like, holy Christ, dig a moat. I'm just kidding. They're lovely. They're lovely people. Great food too. And there's actually good Mexican food in Australia, I've come to find. There's a chain of Mexican places here it's really good.
Yeah, we've got a lovely Mexican down the road from me, actually, run by a real Mexican.
That's lovely. Now let's address
not some fake Mexican like Alfie.
let's address the black elephant in the room. What's your stance on black people?
I love black people. Got no problem with black people.
Seems like you're overcompensating.
As long as they don't want to bring some barbaric fucking death cult religion into this country, it's fine.
Okay, what about your stance on ginger, freckle-faced, white Muslims?
Well, if he wants to fucking implement some bullshit Sharia law, he can fuck off.
Okay, well, I hear you talking about Sharia, you hang out with the gays. Well, let me ask you this. After you march with the gays against Sharia, do you go out for drinks? Do you go out to dance? Like a techno
go to the pub. No, just go to the pub and then just drink and chat, basically.
And then you go blackout drunk and you wake up and it's like, what happens in the pub?
I fucking wish I could get blackout drunk like I did when I was younger. But every single time I go out, I am the one at the end of the night who is picking up the ones who are pissed out of their faces, making sure they get in a fucking taxi. And then I'm sat there going, great, I've just spent 300 fucking quid trying to get fucking wankered tonight. And what have I got to show for it? Nothing, because I'm semi-sober. Cheers.
Well, that reminds me when you say, what do I got to show for it? Because you've taken all these principled stances. Like I talk about Islam, but I'm like this free agent roaming around the world. I'm not affiliated with any gay groups or whatever. So I'm not risking anything per se. Meanwhile, you have suffered for this, like your professional reputation, your journalistic credibility,
down the shitter.
Your
love
social
life,
love life down the shitter. Okay, but you are getting that far right punani.
Do you know what the funny thing is though? Is I've slept with every bird I've slept with since I broke up with the missus has been a lefty, without a doubt. That's
crazy. They just haven't Googled you.
They have. One of them told her best mate that I was a fascist.
Are you? Is it safe to say that you're getting the scraps off of Tommy Robinson's table? How big is Tommy? Do you look down on Tommy?
As in, I don't look down at him as in intellectually, but I look down at him because he is physically shorter than me, yes.
Okay. Now, you met me in person, is that true?
Yes, I did. I for sure fucking did. And we had a romantic evening together.
Did you look up to me or down on me?
I had to look up at you because Jesus fucking Christ, you are tall. Like I was like, shit, I knew you were tall, but it's rare for me to meet someone who's actually taller than me. So it was like, whoa, this motherfucker's actually taller than me.
It's a weird experience when you meet me, isn't it? Because I kind of float into the room, I glide in, and I'm larger than life. And you know my voice, you're in love with my voice and my brain, but then you see the physical form and it's all too much to take in at one time. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I mean, I can see that I intimidate everybody. In fact, the night I met you, you started smoking and you had quit for a long time.
Yeah. I had a proper cigarette that day. First time in like 2-3 years.
Did you know that when I met you, I was not sure if you were a sketchy spastic, and so I had a taser in my pocket, fully charged. To be hovering over the trigger.
To be fair though, Devon, if you didn't come armed, then bigger fool you, because I could have raped you.
Yeah, I figured that. No, but we had a nice lamb dinner at a pub. It was beautiful, and we had a nice.
That you said in the video was a top secret location, and then the name of the bar just plastered on the thing in giant letters.
Yeah, it was close to the Wimbledon region, so we were. And we got Wimbledon coming up. Yeah, South Side.
South Side.
And then afterwards we went out and did some condom shopping, which was fun.
Yeah, sure did. Made the two Indian geezers that ran the local shop think that we were two gay lovers.
So, has your affiliation with me brought you any misery?
Oh, Devon Tracey. So you know that meeting I went to at the Humanist Association?
Oh, those
So
great humans.
yeah. So she was the woman there. She was goading me into arguing her because I knew what her game was. She wanted to be able to call me a racist and prove me as a racist to get me out of the
Mm,
group, but she couldn't. I knew what her agenda was from the moment she opened her mouth, right?
right.
I don't know if you've seen, but I posted in Discord a couple of screenshot images of an email that she sent me after the meeting because she mentioned a few things that she had seen on my Twitter, on my
Mm,
Facebook that I had shared. And she rambled off a few things, posts from Tommy, posts from Anne Marie. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm just trying to find it right now, actually.
I haven't.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
Explain it.
So, oh, I will be. Okay, there we go. I've got both screenshots. Right, so, your Twitter account and YouTube led me to many anti-Muslim views, as well as a recent retweet of 37 things black people need to stop ruining in 2018. And when I received that email, I was like, well, what? That was me reacting to an article in BuzzFeed, so I don't know what the fuck that's got to do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Then she went, Gays Against Sharia. Obviously, I'm not the organizer of Gays Against Sharia. I was slandered by Bristol Post. That's
Well,
why.
let me just explain it because people might. You did a video called 37 Things Black People Should Stop Ruining in 2018, right?
Yes. Yes.
And that was, you didn't make the list. You were reading
Nope.
a list that somebody had made.
Yeah.
And the reason that list had been made is because that was that was a parody. That was a reaction
Yes.
to the actual list called
Yeah.
37 Things White People Need to Stop Ruining in 2018.
Yeah.
So
and also,
it was,
if you'd actually watched my video, you would. I know you have because you were like,
yeah,
you just stole my video because you had literally made the 37 things white people need to stop ruining in 2018.
exactly. So, but it's incredible because when we react to overt racism towards white people, we are being against racism. And so
Yeah.
when you put a spin on it, you go, hey, how would you like it if this was done in reverse? And they don't like the look of it. They missed the point entirely. And it's stunning because they claim to be the anti-racists. Meanwhile, they
Yeah.
kick out anti-racists among them
Mm-hmm.
in an act of racism. I mean, it's just, it blows my mind. And as you sit down and explain this to them and just like break it out and just graph it out for them on a chalkboard, I'm guessing I could get through to them. See, I don't think people watch my videos with an open mind. If
No, they
regressives
don't.
watch my videos, they stop being regressive. I get emails like that all the time. Because it's the pattern of thought, it's that pattern of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this, it's software running on their souls. They can't shake it. It doesn't matter the topic.
I think the other thing that also applies to it is people can't accept when they're actually wrong on an issue. Now, me personally, my way of looking at it is because I have been wrong. I've been wrong so many fucking times in my life.
The foreskin thing, for starters.
What are you chatting? You're fucking wrong. Oh, shit.
Okay, but what about this? You represent, before you can even express an idea, you are a white male.
What the fuck's that got to do with it?
Everything.
That's
For
got nothing
them.
to do with it. Well, for them, yeah, of course. But
yeah,
in a
they just don't
true,
like
free,
you.
open society, it has no fucking bearing whatsoever.
Yeah, but you are pushing back against the wage gap. You're pushing back against Islam. You're pushing back against racism towards whites. Of course, you're the enemy. You're the poster boy for the enemy.
Oh, yeah,
Meanwhile, you're a cripple. You have a what is it? You have a gimpy arm. Your hands don't operate. What is your
no? You're thinking of the wrong British gimp now.
Oh, right.
I'm the one with the knee and the ear problem.
So you're just a torso. Is that why you're not showing us your legs? You're just you roll around.
Legs.
So you have a hearing issue.
Yes.
You won't listen
I
to
have vertigo and tinnitus.
Vertigo.
Yes.
Tetanus?
No, tinnitus.
Tennis elbow?
Tinnitus.
What is that?
Sorry, no, you Yankees call it something different, and it's called tinnitus.
Tinnitus, yeah, tinnitus.
Yeah, that's what you Yanks call it, but we
What
call it
does it mean?
tinnitus.
What, do you have elephantitis?
No, it's constant ringing in my ear, 24/7.
Oh, that's right, right.
From morning till dusk, all I hear is ringing constantly.
And that's why you self-medicate with weed and alcohol and gays?
Weed, yeah. No, I don't medicate with gays.
So
the beautiful, attractive women that they attract, hell yeah.
So you live in a constant state of pain and agony with a piercing sound in your ear, similar to torture, what we would do to prisoners of war. And it's freezing cold, and you live in a shoebox.
I live in a fucking small shoebox.
Yeah, which recently was occupied by a female friend of yours.
Yeah.
Correct. But now you have your freedom.
Freedom.
So are we putting you on suicide watch, or how are we not killing ourselves here?
I'm used to people telling me that I'm wrong. I'm used to people not liking me and not liking me for my opinion. So this is just everyday life. But I'm also British, Devon, so stiff upper lip, mate. We've got other things to worry about.
Well, you do have plans. You do have plans. There are friends around the island that you would like to go and visit.
There's many islands that I'd like to go. Yeah.
Yep. You want to go to Cyprus. You're going to go to Israel. Plans to come to Melbourne, visit me.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So you
got to inspect the Commonwealth.
Yeah. Now, has it strengthened you to be associated with the scumfuck community, the snow chimps, the people on Discord? Because, with me and the people surrounding my channel, you obviously know you're in the right. So it's not like you're just out there in the cold of the wilderness, just like, I know I'm right.
I suppose for me, the benefit of the community has been the fact that people don't call you a fucking racist just because we have a difference of opinion. We'll be brutally honest and tell you what they think if I'm right or wrong. But more importantly, I'd say I wouldn't say it's being in the group has helped me sort of stave off all the negativity, because really, in a way, negativity, when someone tells me something like I'm a racist, that pushes me more to, find the truth and make sure that I am right about what it is I'm talking about.
I mean, honestly, you're just a soft-spoken guy. You're not controversial at all. And for you to be called a racist, if you're a racist, I'm the Grand Dragon of the KKK. I mean, it's ridiculous. But it only takes a bit, because the second you dissent, the second you don't kiss ass, they just go to their ace in the hole, their bazooka. And that is the worst thing in the world. You're an Islamophobe, you're a racist. Or
racist, you're a Nazi.
But if they say you're anti-Muslim, it's such a weird stance, especially from the humanists. Because when you are anti-Muslim, you're not anti the people for the sake of it.
It's definitely not all. If we want to be honest, we're not anti-Muslim children, and we're not anti-Muslim women because they are oppressed by it. If we're going to be honest, we're anti-Muslim men who literally perpetuate a real-life patriarchal society.
And we're more anti the men who are religious, and we're more anti the men who are fundamentally religious. And we're more anti the jihadists, and we're more anti the terrorists. I mean, it's a whole spectrum, and there's plenty of hatred, of rightful hatred to go around. But see, even the word hate, that makes you a hate monger. That makes you a hate group. That makes the hater is the problem.
And that is the key of why my local humanist group was pissed at me, because they want to win hearts and minds with love and not hate.
Flowers. And here's the thing. But hate implies you're out of control. We're not out of control. This is a reasonable stance that we're just contrary. We're just not in favor of people, trampling on our ideas, on our freedoms, on our women, on our gays, etc.
Yeah, exactly. The list goes on. I mean, the list is so fucking long. It's not like it's Christians who are like, oh, we don't, we want to ban abortion. Like, obviously, fuck Christians and fuck all the other religions. But we have to recognize that there is massive difference in when we say fuck all religion and fuck the worst religion out of all of them by miles.
Exactly.
Now, don't get me wrong. We might not be paying attention to Christians or Buddhists or whatever right now, but they better fucking pay attention, because we'll come back round for them and we'll grab them by the fucking scruff of the neck and rub their face in the dog shit.
Yeah, but if the assault of Islam into our societies is not alarming enough sufficiently for people to rally together and stand up and speak out against it, then what is? Like, what I find amazing, what if there was a religion that actually performed human sacrifice? Would the regressives be willing to condemn them? Can we be anti that group? Because
no, because you know what they would come back with? They would turn around and it would be a country that would go, oh, colonialism, imperialism, white people, and then they would still swing back and be like, oh, but we have to be accepting of their culture. And this is something I see all the time from the left and the right. The left, more of it being so pro multiculturalism, it will accept all ideas, good and bad, and the right are so, not all obviously, but when they talk about being anti multiculturalism, their talking point is, oh, it's all bad and we don't want to bother with it. And I'm sat here sort of like, well, obviously fuck the shit stuff about multiculturalism. When a culture comes to our country, we keep the good stuff of their culture and we bin the barbaric shit stuff. End of.
Right. And basically that comes down to, we keep the food and everything else gets chucked.
The food, the music, the parties.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that hard to figure this one out. I mean, but so this theoretical cult that performs human sacrifice, that I'm guessing people would be willing to be like, okay, that's a little extreme. We don't want you killing, goats and animals, and definitely not humans. But Christianity is a cult of human sacrifice. Like, they literally worship and pretend like this human sacrifice worked and like it was this whole thing. So in the same way, if there was a religion that just straight up promoted pedophilia, I'm guessing we'd be willing to be against that, outlaw that. But if there's a religion that worships a pedophile and totally condones the sleeping with young girls and the mistreatment of women, then that's somehow okay. Why? Because it's called religion? Fuck that. I mean, this freedom of religion thing is such a bullshit. Like, you know what it is? Well, the second you call yourself a religion, you get this pass. Oh, it's freedom of religion. Oh, cool.
Yes.
Oh, cool. And that's why I say NAMBLA should try to become a religion. If
NAMBLA they fucking did.
Yeah, I mean, this is why the Satanists do their thing. They are trolling, most of them, just saying,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're a religion. We follow Satan, and you, because of your stupid ass rules that you set up, now you've got to let us play all the reindeer games.
Exactly.
So, are you, now that you've been pushed down and kicked out, what's your strategy? What's the new goal? What are you gonna think twice before you speak out?
I always think before I speak, and I make sure that I want to put across the right image. But no, I'm just going to carry on making my videos, speaking out about what I believe is not just a threat to my fellow countrymen, but a threat to literally the whole of humanity.
Okay. So are you going to be marching? Are you going to be... Did you march at the Women's Day thing?
Oh, what, the Women's March?
Yeah.
I went to one. I don't know if that was the Women's March. I think that might have been a different feminist event, actually.
Were you there to document or to take part or to...
Oh, I was there just to document for a YouTube video, and then I ended up seeing the fucking... what they called? The Anarchist book, the Anarchist lot. And then I went up to them and I was like, all right, guys, you're like pro-women and making sure women are not getting assaulted, but yet you literally assault women. What's that all about?
Huh. Yeah.
And that's in reference to Annie when she was assaulted. Well, when we were both assaulted.
Well, I'm thinking of, remember that porn star girl with the moldy locks? She was an Antifa girl out in Berkeley.
Oh, I remember her.
She got punched in the face. That was really amusing. It's amazing. I wonder when the next protest like that's going to come and happen.
There's always a protest going on somewhere.
So you would fall in what camp? If you were an American, what party would you be a part of, or where would you lie with that?
I'd be the same as you, Devon. I would be voting for Hillary Clinton.
There you go. I vote for her. I'm going to write her in next year. I don't care.
If I could, I would.
Hillary till I die. So funny. People are so like caught up with the personalities involved. It's not about that. It's about the ideas. It's about the stance.
Exactly.
Good Lord. It's not. It's like people act like, oh, you're in favor of Hillary Clinton. No, I'm in favor of what any Democrat would have given the choices of the candidates that year.
Exactly.
I'm in favor of the same person that Bernie Sanders was in favor of, that Obama was in favor of, that George W. Not W. George. Actually, I think W too, but his dad was in favor of. Like every living ex-president was in favor of Hillary Clinton. Every four horsemen of the non-apocalypse was in favor of Hillary Clinton. Every Jew, every atheist, anybody with a brain.
Yeah, keyword brain.
Yeah.
But that goes to the same.
People who are not
here in Britain. I fucking despise Jeremy Corbyn. I think he's wrong on so many issues. But at the end of the day, the majority of his issues I agree with. And obviously, in this country, we don't technically vote for the leader of the country. We vote for our local representative. And yeah, I disagree with Karen Smith on so much. But at the end of the day, when it comes to voting on the day, she is the one that best represents me on the ballot paper, and I will be voting for her again.
Yeah, it's an easy question.
Yeah,
it's not even. Now, you know who wasn't in favor of Hillary was Joe Livelife. Do you know what Joe Livelife? Do you know what his real name is?
Joseph Smith.
Joe Schmidt. Right.
Joe Smith. Yeah.
Right. Joseph Schmitty.
Schmitty. That's it. Yeah.
He's from New Jersey. He went by DJ Schmitty. Yeah. He also went by DJ Breakpad, DJ Booster Seat, DJ.
Are you also aware that he has his email address as public information?
Yes, he's DJ Can't Strafe. He's also DJ Jowl. He's DJ Midget. He had many different names. A lot of them didn't pick up and take off, but DJ never got a blowjob behind the DJ counter. Yeah, anyway, that's neither here nor there, but yeah, Joe Schmidt is his name.
Yeah.
Joey Knuckles is another nickname he went by.
Oh, I didn't know
but
that one.
Yeah, but he's a cunt, and he's a Trump guy. It's whatever. It's how it goes. So you are going to survive this. You are going to be resilient. Stiff upper lip.
Of course, the British way.
And is it a peaceful divorce? Because you're not technically out of the humanist group.
No, I've just been asked to step down from the committee, which is fine because I was looking for a way out. Because first of all, I didn't go there to be nominated for that role. I got an email one evening. I was literally sat on Discord and I was like, oh, I got an email from the Humanist Committee. And I was like, oh, I've been elected as the social media and website director. Okay, cool, whatever, not a problem. And that was it. And to be honest with you, over the last year, I've been so busy with work and my own YouTube channel and, fucking going off around the country and doing shit that I've barely had time to actually do it. And I was looking to get out of it anyway. So it was kind of like a perfect opportunity where I can just go back to being a member.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because you're a young guy and you might take this all personal and think that the world is crashing in around you. You realize it's not you, it's them, right?
Oh, I am well aware of that, yes.
Okay, so you have a firm grasp on who's in the wrong here.
Yes.
Okay, you're not second guessing yourself.
Not at all.
Okay. But you should chop off your foreskin.
No, you need to go see a doctor and get yours reattached.
Okay, you have 0 covenants with Yahweh, our Lord and Savior. You realize that?
Who the fuck is Yahweh?
You shall not be passed over when the spirit of the Jewish God sweeps in and kills your firstborn child, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah, be ready for that. Now, I think we should open it up to the chat, and I want to field some questions.
Before we do that, I really want to tell you about this bit here, though. So in the meeting, because she was getting me to be emotional and whatnot, she started ranting off some things that she disagreed with. That fuck Islam picture with that bird that's bent over with fuck Islam on her ass. A consenting adult and a woman who is sexually free and free to make her own decisions in life. Yes, nude model, whatever. She took offense to it, and I'm like, what? this is what we're fighting for. This is what we want. We want
Right.
freedoms. And it's just like, how are you in this
She took
group?
offense to it. Wait a minute. Does she
Yeah.
know that Yasmina is a former Muslim from Afghanistan who has received countless death threats?
No, because I didn't want to get into the
Right. I mean,
debating and semantics of it all. But yeah,
but it's not
exactly.
it's not Lauren Southern drawing "fuck Islam" on her ass.
Exactly.
The next Muslim doing it. Like, what are you for women empowerment or not? Like, that's so weird.
So she rants off. She's like, "Oh, for Britain and Anne Marie Waters," and then she read out one of the tweets that Anne Marie Waters, and she was waiting for me to say, "Yeah, I agree with that." But before I did, one of the other committee members went, "Well, yeah, I agree with that." And it's a tweet basically that was, "Why do people who feel this way about white people insisting on living in the West? They should leave permanently and never have to put up with us again. Again, people who have different views about this." But people to say that black people are unhappy while living in their own country, in this country. I can't find it. Damn it.
Wait, who is this woman?
This was Anne Marie Waters who tweeted this. She's basically, she is a feminist, ex-Labour Party member, turn UKIP member, turn starting her own political party.
Okay, so she was enraged at the mention of black people in a non-ass kissing fashion.
Well, she speaks out about, white racism towards white people. Sorry.
Well, I mean, here's your problem. You're too honest on your social media. I mean, especially Facebook. Facebook is for grandmothers and high school friends and pussies.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I just left. I just walked. Do you realize that my YouTube channel just used to be me ranting on Facebook? And I would just write these like, long ass things. I'd just be like, here's what I think about it.
The same thing, but I got bored of writing it out, and so I was like, "Oh fuck it, I'm just gonna make a video on it." And then when someone says something about that topic, I can just send them the video.
No, it was completely ungratifying. There was no point to it. Okay, so then,
so she's ranting off, like Tommy Robinson, Pegida, Paul Weston, and then in the middle of it all, she goes, "And atheism is unstoppable."
Oh God,
racist.
You chucked the table over and just threw a fit.
Mate, I was already freaking out because she brought up Annie. I was like, what the fuck has Annie got to do with any of this?
She called me a racist?
Yeah, she called you and Annie a racist.
What? For what?
Over here in black and white. Website and YouTube channel, Devon Tracey, promotes some unofficial atheist views, e.g. Sam Harris.
Unofficial?
But some content.
Wait, where's the official atheist view? What?
Sorry, unoffensive atheist view, sorry.
Okay. I thought it was an unverified atheist.
And then it says, but some content is racist, showing no understanding of present-day injustices, e.g. saying slavery was 150 years ago and black people should get over it and stop treating themselves as special needs cases. And guess what, Devon? I agree with that 100% because black people need to get the fuck over it.
Well, of course.
Any people who think they've been oppressed or marginalized or a victim of something tragic, yeah, it happened. It's terrible. We have learned from it. We're going to make sure that won't happen again. But guess what? You need to get the fuck over it.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, how is that racist? It's incredible. Well, you really have to break down the words, and it's fascinating because what about that statement saying people need to get over slavery? Is me saying that whites are superior to blacks. Now, here's the one thing. I would say to other people, you need to get over X. If there was some X that was 150 years ago, it applies to anybody.
Exactly.
So for example,
like for example, I'll be honest, the Jews, you need to get over the Holocaust. Like, we're going to make sure it doesn't happen again, but
I think they have. Over it. Right, but they have.
They have.
But some of them, I mean, it's obviously an important event, but there's a difference between 70 years ago and 150 years. Major difference.
Yeah, obviously that plays into it as well a little bit, but at the end of the day, they still have to accept it happened. And most of them have, obviously.
But they have. They've built their shrines and their memorials, and they've all moved on. I mean, Israel's moved the fuck on there.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They're all, none of them are blaming Germany or Germans, and they've all literally moved on with their lives, and they're not playing the victim game. They're playing the success game.
Yeah.
But never forget. I mean, it's like, yeah, never forget or forgive. Well, they have forgiven. I mean, Germany and the Jews get along great now,
Yeah.
as evidenced by the voting patterns in Eurovision. But
I'll take your advice on that one because I don't know. I don't pay attention to the voting of that. I just watch it for the songs.
You could make the case that the Armenians, it's been 100 years for them. Now, after 150 years, but the reason they keep bringing it up is because the fucking Turkish don't recognize it.
Yes,
now, the whole world has recognized the Holocaust, which is why the healing process has taken place with that.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
it's there for the Jews. They're able to heal from it. Same with the blacks and slavery. We've all recognized it.
Well, what's interesting is that you, I know, are pro-Israel.
Yes.
And pro the Jews. And
yes.
That's a stance that is not popular in far left circles. In fact, one of the regressive agenda points, which I've added, the newest one, is fuck Israel. It is so prevalent that it is just one of the things.
Devon, I live in a city. I live in the city that has the only Palestinian and cultural museum outside of the Palestinian territory.
Okay, and it's a pile of rocks.
It's a lot of fucking posters and stickers on walls, and the only actual culture I've ever seen in there is some shitty little hand drawn and a write up about some traditional Palestinian dress and some really weird, horrible tasting rap thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that impressive.
No, the rest of it is all just anti-Israel propaganda.
The only skills that, from what I can tell, that they possess is eating large amounts of food and getting their women to be some of the most obese women on the planet, and throwing rocks, which I don't know if they have a team in the Olympics, but they should do well in the shot put.
They should,
and perhaps the discus. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm so sick of people who are failing, blaming people who are succeeding for their failures.
Yes, same. I'm 100% with you on that.
It's absolutely pathetic. And it's interesting because that attitude, that mentality of blaming someone else for your failures is an attitude of a loser. It's the attitude. Adopting an attitude like that is why they fail. Like, if they just changed their outlook and their mindset, it would be completely different. They would actually build societies. They'd actually build communities. And they wouldn't have a need to, funnel their rage and self-loathing, because there is no loathing. There's only happiness and thriving.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. And we sit here, and any truth teller like yourself, but you're swimming with sharks. You knew what you were getting into. I mean, you're going to these groups, and you know who you're dealing with, because you're dealing with 100%. Regressives plus English society, which has all sorts of social norms where you're not supposed to rock the boat, and you're supposed to be pleasant and, avoid awkwardness at all costs. I mean, this is the basis of cringe comedy. Like Monty Python would exploit this. Ricky Gervais was all about this.
Yeah.
They avoid awkwardness at all costs. I'd rather die than have an awkward moment. And what is more awkward than discussing the issues you want to discuss in a real fashion? So these British people are dead set against this. It's like being a pussy squared. That's what it is. And that same applies to Canada. Because they're so nice. They're so damn nice. Like, if you're in New York, nobody's nice to start with. So a plane flies into your building, you're like, oh, fuck it. Who are those people? Fuck them. It's not, your first instinct is not, oh, well, what did we do to make them? Oh, it's probably our fault. Maybe we shouldn't have female soldiers in our military bases in Saudi Arabia. It's absurd. Well, I mean, it's
absurd.
The issue of Islam. It's been around so long now in such a persistent way that we kind of forget that on the front lines, places like where you are, thoughts, the ideas still matter. The fact that you're trying to win hearts and minds, so are they, and you're in a battle. And that's why you go out on these marches. That's why you push back, because it's the creeping Sharia. It's the creeping Muslim normalization, where it's like, that's the problem.
Yes.
And if you want
people making apologies for it all.
What I love, if you want to have an awkward moment, you take a guy like Tommy Robinson, they put him up there as a poster boy for the ignorant, uneducated, low-class hooligan, racist,
Yes.
xenophobe.
Yes.
Listen to
Yes.
his speech at Oxford and watch people's worlds crumble, because everything he says is 1,000% right. He dotted his I's and crossed his T's and had somebody with an Oxford education check his script because he was spot on.
Yep.
And that's why you vetted the guy. You know him, and you know that he's rough around the edges, and he's a bit of a,
Oh yeah, of course. Of course.
he's not
He's not
exactly,
perfect.
no. But when on his issue, the issue of his life, he's not wrong.
Islam, not at all.
He's in Germany right now, going around there. I mean, he's making a career
Oh yeah.
working with Rebel Media.
Yeah, Rebel Media was a big step up for him. Fair play.
But for many people in left circles, if you mention Tommy Robinson, it's basically like you're part of the Nazi high command at that point.
Yes. Yeah,
if you're rubbing shoulders with guys like that, you're Goebbels.
You're literally signing your own death warrant.
Yeah, you're not Hitler, but you're Goring.
Yeah.
You're up there. So you're not shedding tears over this, and
nope.
you just have to pivot. You're going to be active politically. It's just not in the same platform. And I think you should use your experience to warn others, because there's others that are going to go through the same thing. They're doing purity tests left and right, and you weren't regressive enough. So you could either be sad about that or happy about that. I think it's a win for you.
I think it's fucking weird. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fuck the humanists. I'm anti-humanist. So shall we open up for a little chit chat with the chat?
Let's do it.
Okay, I mean,
pop the chat open.
Yeah, I'll pop the chat and I'll glance at these plebs, and we'll see what they're on about.
These common folk.
Oh my god, I don't even know if they could string a sentence together. That'll be a miracle. We got Kelly Noodle in the chat. We got let's see if I some familiar faces here. Yorkshire's here. Talking Donkey up in the house. Generation X here. Okay.
Do I get my weed from Prince Marriott? I can neither confirm nor deny any of that.
Okay, what color is the guy that you get your weed from, or what is his race?
Well, there's 3 geezers, I suppose, and they're all different.
3? You have 3 guys? What, for 3 different strains?
No, you have 3 different guys, because one of them's not going to have it when I need it, so you need to be able to ring another geezer.
Here we go. What are your thoughts on street epistemology? Do you think it's a good way to confront disillusioned beliefs?
Sorry, what? Street
epistemology. Street
I've
epistemology.
never heard that fucking word before in my life.
I guess it's like, I mean, we have street preachers. We got dudes trying to convert people. I see them converting people to being Muslim in England.
Yeah.
Would you go to a place like a Speaker's Corner? Would you get involved on a local, like, stand up on a box and talk?
I don't think that way really helps people. I think the only way that they can do it is by accepting it themselves and accepting that there is a different worldview out there and they need to find it themselves.
Okay. Devon, how are you so much better than us? I would say that's 80% genetic, 20% big dick. Devon, did you see Jimmy Dore on Joe Rogan? I saw a couple minutes of it. He's such a coked up monstrosity. He's getting worse. He gets worse by the day, by the week. I mean, he is
doing a lot of coke. There is no doubt about that.
And he's too regressive for the Young Turks. I mean, he's off the fucking reservation. So
he is 2 steps away from starting to believe deep state conspiracies and things like that.
Here we go. Are you coming back to the UK to live in my spare room? Says Chris. Depends. If you shave your beard, I don't want to be with a big, scary, bearded guy here. I don't know. Chris is a very cozy house, and I do want to go back and have more Chinese food with him. We got Dangerfield in the house. Dangerfield had a run-in with suicide earlier today, but it's all been sorted out.
Me and Dangerfield are doing a video chat at some point this week, apparently.
Yeah, I think he's back in London.
He is.
He's taking a hiatus.
Temporarily.
Yeah, he's going to get back to. Yeah, I got to see more Instagram pictures of him with like just a dozen Thai hookers, like unabashedly.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Um, while you are in Australia, they do have some blacks there. Did you see any of their reactions to Black Panther coming out of the theater? No. I think I'm not sure if it's out here yet, but I do plan to BitTorrent it. I will get one of the scumfucks to hook me up, and I just posted a video on Black Panther, tying in my grandfather, who was the inspiration for the composer of the score for Black Panther. So they went to the International Library of African Music in Grahamstown, South Africa, which is founded and run by the Traceys, my family. And
Yeah.
he
That
went
was the
through
thought I
all
had,
these.
because I think I was with you when you were reading it out or something, reading that thing from that
Yeah,
guy.
I mentioned it.
And I
To
was
him.
like,
Right.
I swear to God, he's talking about your family, dude.
Exactly. And so it's just very interesting that, you got these white people who are instrumental in, putting together this Black Pride movie, which is crazy. Devin, how tall are you? 6'3". These are questions for Jay Turner, and Jay Turner is slightly
Yes,
less
don't
than
be
6'3".
about me. Yeah, I'm
Why
like
does
6'1".
Dangerfield call him the spastic kettle? I don't know. He's met with Dangerfield a couple times. They've had walk and talks out in Soho.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, Jay, are you stoned?
Hanging out with Dangerfield is awesome.
Are you stoned?
Sorry, am I stoned? No,
Yeah.
I've had a smoke, but I'm not stoned.
Okay.
Take a lot of work to get
Well,
stoned.
somebody's calling it the Black Panther the best film of the year. One of them. He's not.
It's a fucking comic book movie. Let's
Okay,
not get ahead of ourselves.
Jay, a general question. How do you feel about Americans? Are you afraid of
Fuck America.
Americans?
Nah, fuck America, Devon.
No, but is it safe to say that with the Discord, with the internet, you are exposed to more Americans and that you like them?
I've held the same opinion of them all pretty much since I first ever met an American.
Well,
Lovely people. Can't
am I
knock
a,
them.
am I a good gateway drug for Americans because I'm dual citizen and I understand your lot?
Oh, yeah, definitely, because the Americans don't understand us at all. At all.
Jay,
They
are
get
you the
confused.
general of the scum fucks? Oh, please.
No, I wouldn't say I was
General.
the general.
No, he's a foot soldier. He's been dishonorably discharged because he's gimpy.
Well, I was going to say that the one who is the general is the gimpiest out of all of us. So what's that
Well,
say?
a lot of people don't know because they've never been with Jay in person, but he's hard of hearing in one of his ears. He doesn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And
We'll
when you
talk
talk to him, well, we were in a pub, and so it's kind of, there's some ambient noise, and I'm talking to him, and he starts leaning into me, and he's turning his head kind of sideways, almost like he's leaning for a kiss. But it was
sort of
very
like this.
intimate.
What?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was
it's
that?
very personal. I want to see it.
Like
Let me see
this?
it.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
this. Hi.
Yeah.
What
This
you
is the
saying, mate?
experience of hanging out. There it is. And I was like, wow, he's really intently listening to me. This is cool. And then later he tells me, oh no, I can't hear you, mate. I need you to speak into this ear. It'd be
Yep.
cool if you had one of those little horn things that old people like stick in their ear. Can I get you one of them?
That's like an old-timey hearing aid.
Yeah.
I
Why
have a
not?
hearing aid, but
I'm so English, but I sound not so English. And it's one of those creepy things where I think it was really, I had a renaissance of discovering England when I visited, when I lived there, when I worked there, and Ricky Gervais. So listening to his podcasts and watching The Office really got me back involved in the subtleties and
in
the
your
wealth of,
Britishisms.
yeah, and just the humor and the fun of it all, and it's just hysterical. I mean, you should listen to Jay yell at Chrissy or Sean or Chris. It's funny. It's just like
The
England has a lot
English
to
bar.
offer. Yeah, you've got to go there and you've got to like see the country and see places outside of London. Even it's worth it. They're good people.
Mm-hmm.
That AIU changed my life literally. Now, how do you say literally? Literally, literally,
Literally. Literally.
literally.
Yeah,
And
I'd say
controversy,
literally.
controversy.
Controversy.
What? You fucked up
Yeah,
both ways.
controversy. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been hanging around with Americans too much.
Tomato.
Yes, tomato.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some Irish people in here. We got what is that? Chris Holowicki in here, I believe, who's going all caps like he's spurting out hardcore. Holowicki is just he has streams where he's just playing video games, and he has a small little green screen version of him in the bottom left corner. I think he should up that by like 30%. I want to see more facial expression.
I don't think he has the control over that because he's doing it through his console, so he's limited on the size.
Okay, that's weak. Yeah, I've been getting. Jay, what do you think of Labor's anti-white male policy? Who do you think is the most horrendous member of the party? Diane Abbott or John McDonnell?
Obviously, I'm against fucking Labour's policy to ban white people and straight white men from running in elections and things like that. I don't agree at all with any affirmative action, because that's basically what the party's answer to it all is, oh, it's just affirmative action. There's nothing wrong with affirmative action. Yes, it is. It's racist to the people you don't include in the affirmative action. The worst member? It's Momentum, a group called Momentum, because Jeremy Corbyn, Diane Abbott, and John McDonnell are only leading the party due to a group called I can't say it properly. Momentum. And they are a group that was formed just after Jeremy Corbyn announced he was going to run initially for the leadership of the party. And they are a cult of personality. They don't support the Labour Party. Their mandate is to support Jeremy Corbyn as the leader of the party. And if it hadn't have been for them, he would not still be the party leader, and we would probably have someone that would be a hell of a lot more comfortable running the country.
Yeah, you're going to do okay. Trust me. I mean, you're speaking to an audience of like 95% of the people here are not from England, don't know the people you're talking about, and whatever local decisions they make, they're not going to affect anybody, and we're going to survive.
Yeah, definitely.
We got some super chats. Andy Worski, eat your heart out. Okay, $1 from Danny New Edge. 02. He's not 007 yet. He's just 02. Thank you. And Lion's Heart Gaming, which is not Ironheart Gaming, but he has been very.
If you don't know about Ironheart Gaming, then you're not living life. Ironheart Gaming is where it is.
Well, put it this way: if you're not subbed to Ironheart Gaming, if he's not a bookmark on your browser, I don't want to know.
You are not part of the notification squad.
Yeah. If you're not getting vibrated every time he does anything online, I mean,
then get the fuck off the internet.
You got to seriously like rethink everything you're doing.
Yeah,
definitely. Ever thought of replacing Amy with Praggy? You can call it the Jaggy Show.
Hell no. What?
Praggy Prince is he's an unfortunate individual. He shaved his eyebrows a few months ago. You know that lets you know the ballpark. Lion's Heart, didn't you want to fight Devon at a Walmart? Yeah, I liked how he told me who was going to be at that fight. It was going to be his dad and like a friend, I think. Yeah, it was going to be
crazy.
It was like Pistols at Dawn, but Pistols at Dawn at a Walmart. Devon, who would win in a basketball game one-on-one, Steve Shives or Tyrion Lannister? I think Tyrion.
No competition.
No, but I think Tyrion would have the speed advantage. He'd definitely be able to drive the lane. And Shives, he has no shot. I mean, can you imagine his jumper? God almighty. First of all, what would he do? Put his baseball hat on backwards? You can't shoot with a brim. So I don't even think his shoulders could. I've never seen him put his hands above his head. I don't think he can actually lift the weight of his arms.
Let alone pick up a baseball.
Yeah. Oh, the Drunken Atheist.
Basketball, sorry.
Thank you, Holowicki. Very beautiful.
What's he doing?
He super chatted.
Oh. Yeah, super chat Devon, everyone. You all best be doing it.
I always wonder what happened to that witch you once made a video about. You're talking about Dragonfeather? What happened to her? She's still living.
No. Huh?
I'm reading.
Oh, sorry. Go
on. I'm so good at reading that he thought I was actually talking.
Yeah.
We got Carter Cole in the house. It's beautiful. So many personalities. It's weird. They all exist in my mind. I don't. Part of me doesn't feel at the real. It's weird. The virtual world is a weird one because our egos are so strong that it's hard for me to actually think of how cold it is outside where Chris is, or how hillbilly it is wherever Carter is. I think he's in Houston. Get doxxed, Carter.
Carter Cole doxes himself.
Carter has a
with
10% chance
with
that he's using dry ice right now in some way, some illegal way.
Oh yeah, he's blowing something up. There's a very good chance of that happening.
$5 from Voltron 512. He says, thoughts on the Talmud. Why is it sometimes okay to talk about Islam in an objective way, but still not okay to talk about Jewish religion? What about the Talmud? So the Talmud is backwards and fucked up, but it's different than Islam in some very fundamental and important ways. I remember when I went to Jewish preschool, I was 4 years old. They were teaching us the Talmud and the Torah, and they would take you down there like after nap time. You'd get sent down, and you're getting that massive religious indoctrination. On a kid level, on a very surface level, but it's the ritual and it's what they have. And as far as I could tell as a child, it was just like these ancient scrolls that they'd wheel out, and it was just like, okay, whatever. I was like, I wasn't impressed by it. But why? There's no point in discussing the stupidity of the Talmud. Why? What is it about? I mean, how is this a pressing issue on our society?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, fuck Judaism and fuck every other religion, but they ain't causing us a problem right now.
Yeah, on an intellectual level, it's interesting. I mean, look at Ben Shapiro. He's a practicing Orthodox Jew. This guy is about as much a threat to society as, an Oompa Loompa. But it is ridiculous that he's religious, just like it's ridiculous that Jordan Peterson is religious.
Exactly.
So, but that's just fun, and it's, those atheist debates, they were more like just, I don't know, it's shooting fish in a barrel, but also it was just kind of amusing.
Yeah.
It amused me to see them fail, to see this way of thinking that has survived for thousands of years go down in flames. That was a beautiful thing to witness, and done with laughter and whatnot. See, Plastic Patty is actually a figment of Devon's mind. I always think of Patty Power when I see that. Those Patty Powers are everywhere out there in Ireland.
Patty Power gambling.
Yeah, here's the thing about Jews. Jews are talked about and discussed probably about 10,000% too much. Like, it's just area about Jews. Jews are 0.2% of the world.
But yet they take up like 70% of the conversation.
Yeah, it's such a random, and it's so gross that you get these like.
Well, you've got those who are just anti-Semitic and they won't change, and then you've got the other side who is the people who are literally jealous of them, and that's all it comes down to with them.
And you get the genocidal ones who just hate them and loathe them for even existing. But it's these degenerate shit eaters, these mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging, like low-level people who just bring up Jews. Like somebody said to me the other day, Devon, what are your thoughts on the Jewish question? It's just so obnoxious. They think they're like, ooh, I'm dabbling in the forbidden. I'm talking about Jews kind of like Hitler did, kind of. Ooh, tee. It's so gross. Get a life. It's like, fucking hell. Most of these people don't know Jews. Like, I was talking to a guy who literally said, I've never talked to a Jew. I've never met a Jew. And I'm just thinking, get outside. Like, it's just, they don't bite. Actually, some of them do, and some of them do drink the blood of Christian youth. That is true. That is true. But they've even, pulled that in. They're reining that in, which is nice. Jay Turner, you've been exposed as a Jew. Are you a Jew?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'm a Zionist. I'm what?
Yeah.
No, there's no Jew in me. There might be like somewhere distant, like far in my family history, but I don't think so.
So you believe in Zionism. So you're in favor of ethno-states?
What? No, what? Israel's not an ethno-state.
Okay, but its foundation is to be a Jewish homeland. And I understand they have let in some Arabs, but technically and philosophically, spiritually, it is a Jewish home.
Yeah.
Are you against the idea of a nation being built with a parameter, like an agreed upon parameter, say religion, race? You think race is too specific?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's all about the religion, and
So you welcome what you would welcome all races, but you want people to abide by certain core principles.
yes, being democracy and secularism and human rights.
And those have to be, sadly, those have to be laid out in written form.
Unfortunately.
I mean, we should have the freedom of speech, though. I mean, you guys are
Oh, of
backward on that.
course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, that should be enshrined. You should, the Queen should come out and just put an executive order down and be like, oh, by the way, there's a freedom of speech. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, the problem is we do technically have free speech, but then we have ridiculous laws that have been implemented afterwards that then say you can get done for this and this and this.
Yeah. Here's Chrissy coming in with Devon should be forced back to the southwest of England. Yeah, I should go back to my homeland in Somerset. True story. I was down in Exeter, very close to Chrissy, and I said, "Hey, Chrissy, I'm here for a week, just visiting family. Wondering if you want to meet up for a coffee. You know, it's probably 45-minute train ride from her." And she was like, yeah, I gotta check my schedule at work, and I mean, yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Devon, the thing is, right, is you're talking about the Cornish, right?
Mm.
And there's only a very small number of them who actually leave Cornwall. Once they're in Cornwall, that's it. They're never leaving, and they won't even go to the next fucking county over, which is Devon, funny enough.
Yeah, why is she so cemented?
She's been the Cornish way.
Good. It is.
It's the Cornish way.
Because it's like, who do you think you are? You think you're better than us? You want to like move out and see other things? Know your place. Know your role. Your role is to sit in this frozen, hellish landscape and just age. And I feel bad because there's a bunch of girls in my fan base who are late 20s, and they're approaching that 30-year cutoff where it's like you're getting pushed in a volcano because you have no worth to us anymore collectively, and that's a
on the sexual market.
Yeah, I mean, it's now or never, and they should go out in a blaze of glory. Because, I mean, the one thing I will give them, as we march them to the volcano, the lip of the volcano, they can choose an exit song. So, I don't know if they want to make it like a romantic ballad or something. Like, what song would you choose as we chuck you into a volcano? Yeah, I don't know about your. Yeah, I don't know about your musical tastes. Are you a patriot when it comes to music? Do you like British bands?
I like all kinds. I wouldn't say I like a certain genre or artist. It's all about the individual song that I like.
Are you down with the Mode?
The what?
The Mode. Depeche Mode.
Don't think I've heard any of it.
You've never heard of Depeche Mode?
Probably have, but I'm shit with names.
Holy fuck! I should strip you of your citizenship. Depeche Mode. Oh fuck! Type it into your Google machine.
All right.
Depeche. I can't believe this. I can't believe this is being recorded. I can't wait for the chat to catch up, so I want to see what they react to. Unbelievable. Depeche Mode. I am horrified right now. This is the lead story. I'm going to change the name of this video. Jay Turner does not know of Depeche Mode.
Okay, I'm on YouTube. I think I found a song.
Okay. What's it called?
No, it's
Personal
Cover
Jesus?
Me. There's Cover Me.
Enjoy the Silence.
Oh, Personal Jesus. Now, that name does sound familiar. Fuck it, I'll put that one on.
How about Enjoy the Silence? Play it for us. I need to hear. I mean, literally, he must have been under a rock. I think he moved around cities. I don't know what. He's a millennial. I don't know what he's. I don't understand what.
I've lived all over the UK. I've been busy, Devon. Like, when I turned 16, my dad said to me on my 16th birthday, "You got 2 weeks to get a job, or you're kicked out." So when I started working, I then started going out. And
in terms of England's gifts, to the rest of the world and to humanity. It goes Shakespeare, Spice Girls, and then Depeche Mode. So they're up there they're on the Mount Rushmore. He's too young.
I'm pretty sure I have heard this song before.
Oh,
yeah, I have. Yeah. Personal Jesus. Yeah. Now, yeah.
No,
See,
no,
I told you, I'm just shit with names.
No,
I do know this song.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know. I feel bad for you in some way. Maybe you heard Depeche Mode, but it was your bad ear, like, so you couldn't actually hear them, like somebody else was playing it. But do you not get surround sound? How does that work?
Yeah, I've got a surround sound kit. I just haven't bothered installing it on my TV.
No, I'm saying your brain.
Oh.
Do you physically hear in surround?
No, I hear everything pretty much through my right ear.
Okay, so then how can you have no, what's that? What do bats have? Echolocation?
Yeah.
There's a phrase for that. Anyway, you have no radar. You cannot place the location of a sound. Don't you need two receptors?
Not as well as you could. So there's a test. Like, for example, if we'd get someone to stand behind us and we'd take it in turns, and they would say something but stand at different locations behind us so we couldn't see, and then we have to guess roughly where they are. You will score more accurate than I will.
Okay.
And but so I will have some idea that you're on my left-hand side because it's a lot weaker than if you were on my right.
Yeah, and by the way, I do know that Richard Spencer loves Depeche Mode, and I've put his karaoke, which is ridiculous. Everybody should love Depeche Mode, though. So, Jay, is that why you became an atheist? Because you said, "Why has God forsaken me and given me this shit ear and this bum knee?" And
I was an atheist before I became deaf or fucking gimp-legged or whatever.
So one day when you were a young kid and you were a bloated, fat monstrosity.
It was before I was fat.
Okay, why did you get fat? Were you insulating yourself from the pain of the world?
Yes, I was insulating myself from the pain of my mother being an alcoholic bitch who is crazy as hell and divorce, losing my sisters.
Was she a alcoholic bitch or a bitch who was alcoholic? In other words, was she a bitch when she was sober, or only when she was?
Oh, she is a bitch when she's sober. Yeah, she's a bitch, but she's worse when she's pissed. A lot worse.
If you wrote an autobiography, would it be called "My Mother Was a Bitch," or is a bitch?
The bitch who is an alcoholic.
My Mother is an Alcoholic Bitch by Jay Turner.
No, the bitch that is an alcoholic.
That would be a book that I would read while on the toilet.
Maybe I should get some writing tips off of Dangerfield then.
Is she still around?
Yep, she lives 20 minutes up the road from me. Literally, I just could jump on a bus right now and be at her house. Actually, you want to know something really, really funny? My mum lives 4 streets over from where Annie lives.
So
every time I go over Annie's, I literally have to go by my mum's.
And Christmas came and went. Did you touch base with her?
Did I? Fuck. Her birthday was on the 3rd of January. Did I ring her? No.
Why didn't you ring her up and just say, "Mom, you're an alcoholic bitch"?
Oh, I've done that plenty of times. But I had to take the step of I will never contact you ever again. And I also had to get the police involved and get the police to go around and tell her not to contact me ever again.
This feels very Oedipal. Not edible.
Sorry.
Like Oedipus. This feels like an Oedipus complex. It's like, it's so hardcore to tell your mother, the giver of life, and be like, "Mom, you're a bitch." I mean, I should say that to my mom. I should have a therapy. My mom killed herself when I was 5. She abandoned me. I should say, "Mom, you bitch. Why did you do it?" I should have this conversation, you know. But her and I had a pretty good relationship, actually. So I think I don't take it personally.
I mean, I suppose obviously she has definitely hurt you by what she's done. But in a way, she did it one time. Yeah. Where with me, I had to live through it year after year, day after day.
Well, there's
my mum's craziness.
There's unintended consequences. I'm sure she didn't plan on ending her life. You know, I'm sure she didn't want to hurt people that she loved. I think she was overwhelmed with whatever she was dealing with. But
Yeah.
the shit, people go through shit. And do you think, do you blame her for her bitchiness, or do you think she had no choice in some way? Did she have a bad upbringing, for example? Bad role models?
She is responsible for her actions and only herself. But that being said, if you want to talk about her upbringing and whatnot, yeah, she had a fucking terrible upbringing. Her dad died young.
Uh-huh.
Both her parents are extreme alcoholics. It's clearly where the alcoholism comes from.
Yep, there you go.
And various other family problems on that side.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to trace back the DNA and reverse engineer how fucked up we all are. If you can do that, you've reached enlightenment. Basically, you've reached a stage of personal growth that you can leverage into some practical advancement. Like, you're not going to be weighed down by just random negativity and self-hatred.
Yeah.
But like Chris Dangerfield, like, half of his YouTube existence is, doing therapy with himself. He's venting these crazy stories of his adult life, his adolescent life, his childhood. Hey, thanks for all the content this weekend, Devon. Fistbone. Nice. Some Infidel. Thank you for that. And yeah, I did dump a load on
Some
people.
Infidel. I love that name. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
just reminded me of something on this email.
Mm-hmm.
So in the complaint email, when they said that I was the organizer of Gays Against Sharia, the complainant also said that I was involved with the Southwest Infidels, which is a offshoot of the EDL, basically.
Oh, God, they want you. They want it, don't they?
She really, I'm going to be honest, looking at this whole list of things that she was going in that meeting with about me, it is clear that she wanted to just call me a racist and have done with it, but I wouldn't let her.
But the thing is, if they come after guys like Jay Turner, they can come after anybody. Like this song and dance, it's so easy to replicate. That's why it's just funny. I mean, they should be called out and shamed for this.
I'm a nobody. I'm just some jackass on the internet, and yet I get officially kicked out of groups due to the fact that I am just a jackass on the internet sharing my opinion on things.
Mm-hmm. But you're not anonymous. That's the other thing.
Yeah, well, I think fuck your anonymity. You should, if you want to share your opinions, and especially if you want to call me a racist, you should tell me what your fucking name is.
But see, this is the problem with that, is that you're young. So it's one thing if you're financially independent and you've been around and you kind of don't give a fuck. But if I was like a 21-year-old, say, and you're 28 now, but if I was 21, I don't know what that's like in terms of, should I be anonymous, should I not be? Because if you aren't,
do you know something? I don't know if you remember, you made a video. I can't remember. I don't know if it was a video or it was a live stream, but you basically said to your fans, you do a YouTube channel, and you gave like 10 things to make videos on, basically. Yeah. And you talked about how, you'd get called a racist and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But I think there was one thing really that I have learned that you didn't cover. I don't know if you ever thought about it, but that is you can lose your job, you can lose your friends, you can lose your family, you can be ostracized from your community. But the one thing I didn't really expect was the fact that you will very likely be alone, because not everyone can stand with you, even if they do agree with you with what you're doing, but they can't stand with you.
But there are some risks involved, and you got to choose your battles. I always tell people this, like, there's
of course,
but that's why you have figureheads like myself. I know I'm a small YouTuber, but at least I am a symbol. I represent a lot of other voices. So there are people out there who have jobs, they have families, they can't risk this shit. They have names, they don't want to sully their own name. So they let me speak, and they'll low-key Patreon me, or they'll upvote me, or they'll just send me an email and be like, thanks, man. But so long as somebody's doing it, that's what, we need people to do this. There needs to be pushback. There needs to, being right on these issues needs to be voiced. It's just not everybody has to go down in flames and suffer socially,
Yeah,
financially for this. You know, you don't have to be a martyr. Be smart. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Figurehead.
So
I don't know what I am. All I know is that the thing about life, what I've learned, and I've been reflecting recently, is that there is no grand importance. There's no grand meaning where there's no objective. There's no finish line. But one thing we do have is each other. Now that sounds maybe like a platitude, but it's not. It really is pretty profound. We have each other, and that could be a family, it could be friends, it could just be, look, we all happen to coexist, and we are all alive at the same time in human history. And the chances of that are unbelievably small. You know, so we are sharing each other's company, and this is a powerful thing. You know, you and I, anybody in this room, anybody in this chat, we could chat tomorrow. We could make plans. We could create something together. We could make babies. We could do anything together. And if you can influence or change or help one person, 2 people, 10 people, that is in and of itself a glorious thing. That's the end of it. Period. End of story. You don't need any more. Just you made someone laugh. Boom. Well done. Good. That's a net good. That's just, and that gives me some comfort, because we're never going to beat religion. You know, not in our lifetimes. We're never going to push. You know, end regression. We're not going to do that. We're trying to stamp out that damn wage gap thing, but you know, it's not glorious. You know, this whole notion of maybe if we push hard enough, we can make slow, incremental change. You know, nobody makes movies about that. You make movies about people running and sprinting into battle to kill or be killed. They want finality. They want big results. But really, life is complex and it's messy and it's slow, and change is slow. But there are real things happening interpersonally with people, and like in communities like this, online, on YouTube, what's happening on YouTube, how it shifts and evolves, how the atheist community has shifted and evolved, how our topics, how our the various personalities, the various talking points, that's all very fascinating, and it's having a lasting and important impact, I think, on the audiences, and in a very individual way. Everybody, you know, they dive in and they take a little piece and they go back to their lives, and they come in, they contribute, and then they dip back away. So I think it's just fun to be a part of it all.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're a YouTuber. You make videos and you get something from it.
I actually really enjoyed just making the videos and sharing my opinions on shit.
Somebody's called me a liberalist.
I refute. I am against the liberalists.
I mean, liberalist, it's like I'm an oxygenist. It's so stupid. I mean, fuck. It's like Dave Rubin. I was reading Dave Rubin's bio for the Rubin Report, and it's like, we are the biggest online, the biggest free speech talk show online. We discuss big ideas, and we are big into free speech. So nauseating.
Dave Rubin is nothing more than just another jackass on the internet with an opinion, and a shit one. I'm
sick of comedians. Comedians tend to be smart, but when they're stupid, they're fucking stupid.
Do you know what's really pissed me off about the internet and comedians is it's now that everyone's a fucking comedian.
I hate it. Chris Rock, I was listening to his new special, and it's pretty shit, and he's going after white people, but I'll give him a chance. I mean, I like Chris Rock, but it's sad to see him sort of play to the masses like that. Just he's reading a vibe in society, and he's taking an angle on it, which is, I think it's beneath him, but I haven't listened to the whole thing, but we'll see. But the fact that like
I'll check it out.
Jimmy Dore sucks and Dave Rubin sucks, and apparently he's doing stand-up comedy again, but it's just piss poor.
Dave Rubin,
yeah.
Comedy again.
But you know what's funny? Oh, thank you, Alfred. So here's the thing. I think before YouTube, comedians were the YouTubers. And I'll tell you why. Because they had cutthroat honesty, and they could get away with it because they framed it in comedy. And with a
I totally agree with that. Actually,
with a stand-up comic, what defined them? they were not controlled by people. They had no writers. They were the writers. So it was very personal, very individualistic. And there was no oversight. So what you see is what you get. It was going to come from their heart. And they were not scared. They had no fear. I mean, you have to have no fear to get up in front of a crowd of people and just try to make them laugh. This is one of the toughest things you could ever hope to do. And so without fear and without oversight, they could just speak real about issues, and so real that it would make people laugh. I mean, the truth is funny, and revealing the truth in an entertaining and charismatic way, even better. But without the truth part of it, it's showmanship. It's nothing. It's fluff.
Yeah. What's the point?
So it's very interesting that guys like Dangerfield, guys like Andy Worski, even Ruben, they leave stand-up comedy and go to YouTube because they see that it's kind of the same thing. And also they are sick of going around, hitting all these little clubs and getting heckled, and it's a pain in the ass. And they think, oh, I'll get a bigger audience and I can speak my mind. Now, YouTube is oversight. They do ban shit and block shit. And I guarantee you they would have given Dangerfield a strike if he had kept his title. He had a title of a video which was I'm gonna kill myself or something. Like it was like if YouTube if that would have been flagged, dude, they would have said, no, you can't post that.
I know I'm gonna get a strike because I'm putting a video out today or tomorrow, which is me drawing Muhammad. So I'm getting a strike. I know it.
I mean, Russell Brand, oh my god. But like Bill Maher, guys like this. I mean, Bill Maher is a bright guy, but George Carlin, smart guy. There are comedians who, the fact that they were into comedy it's not, they bury the lead. The lead is they're super smart people who have a lot of interesting thoughts, and also they're funny. But they present themselves as, I'm a funny guy. Listen to me tell the jokes. I'm the funny guy. But really, it's no. Yeah, you'll laugh, but that's just like a side skill that they have. It's really their minds, and it's their creativity. That's what makes you show up, and that's what makes like a great comedian have longevity. And it's weird because like comedians are, look at Jon Stewart, guys like this. They became our source of news.
Yeah,
we
definitely with them.
Yeah.
I remember the days when Bush was in power on The Daily Show. That was where I got most of my news.
Yeah, it's true. Oh God, somebody's talking about Bloodsport. Yeah, we got to turn this into a combative, shit-flinging drama show. Jay,
yeah, fuck you, Devon. What's that all about? Fucking getting your foreskin cut off. What the fuck, bruh?
I'll dox your ass, you cunt.
Fucking do it, you doxer. Nah.
Stand-up is over, says Chris. It's a specialist interest now. Yeah, it's retro. It's vestigial. I mean, it's still fun. I actually do want to go to some comedy out here in Australia, but yeah, I would say it's like everything else. It has competition, and there's no rules. So, for example, I've always found it interesting, my relationship to comedy, because I would never dream of calling myself a comedian, but I know that in every one of my videos, I'm trying to make people laugh. And
you are a funny motherfucker. No doubt about that.
My general sense is, I mean, I have noticed that people laugh a lot when I talk. And there are many times where I'm trying to, it's not an accidental thing. I'm trying to be clever and fun. But it's very interesting how it's almost so ingrained in me that, and I get this from my father, but I don't lead with it and I don't sell myself as it. And so it's almost like it's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
That's how I view it, because there's pressure. If you say, oh, be funny, here's a funny video, you'll never believe this funny story I'm about to tell you. Then it becomes forced.
Yeah.
And that's why being a comedian is so hard, because they straight up tell you, I'm a funny person. I'm a professional funny guy. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, we got David in the house. The atheist, anti-atheist. No, try that again. The anti-theist penguin.
Yep. The anti-theist penguin.
He says Worski is the Chris Burke of YouTube. Who's Chris Burke?
No clue.
Don't know. But you didn't know Depeche Mode, so there's no chance you know Chris Burke. Jeremy Corbyn of YouTube, yeah. Jerry Springer. I like how he spelled Jerry with G. Gary Springer. Gary? Is it GIF or GIF? We got the Fintrot here. I believe he's a alt-light dude from Finland. He put me in a video with a bunch of right-wingers, but apparently I'm a white advocate, I'm a white identitarian. If you identify as white,
days.
I think if you say you're white, if you speak about
Just
race,
basically speaking out against white racism makes you a white identitarian. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. You could get to the heart of this issue so fast if you say to somebody, "I have 3 questions for you about race. Should you blame white people today for slavery?" Just listen to how they answer that. Should we give reparations to black people? And what percentage of Oscars should go to black people? I want to hear them in their own words answer those questions, and I can tell you a lot about the person.
Yep, exactly. That is the best thing that was ever made about the regressive agenda. Was it's not just these points. It's also, you want to find out about someone, just pick a couple of things off of this list, and you will know pretty much 90% of what their views are and how they do stuff.
Well, it's a shortcut. It's Cliff Notes because we don't have time, and so sometimes labels you understand what camp a person is in, and you can sign. It helps you to be like, oh, okay, I get the general gist of this person. So he's saying that Chris Burke is an actor with Down syndrome. Oh, by the way, I got a lot of pushback on this song that Jacqueline Glenn's ex-boyfriend made. I called it an emo autistic song. And people, like actual autistic people, came in and said, not cool that you use autistic as a derogatory.
Yeah, I know. It's retarded.
That's bad.
I mean, I'm disabled and I call myself a spastic. So call myself retarded.
Yeah, I mean, what are we supposed to... But autism, I think they need to understand that the connotation that we're using autism, and we're not literally referencing the autistic community.
Exactly.
If you say somebody's spurging out, you don't literally mean they have Asperger's.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's too sensitive, because the same can be said for you're a fag. We're not talking about homosexuals. If I say, Jay, stop acting like a fag and do something, like I don't really say that often, but every once in a while, a good F-bomb is good. You know, because it's so punchy, it maintains the stigma.
And let's be honest, the English language is powerful, and sometimes when you want to make people actually realize what it is you're trying to tell them, you need to use colorful language, because it's the only way they can process it.
The Australians have basically diluted the word cunt to the point where it's like g'day. G'day, cunt.
Yeah. G'day, cunt. What's up, cunt?
Yeah, it's not.
You see that cunt down the pub last night? What a fucking ledge.
Yeah, we need to come up with some new words. Somebody asked, Devon, what happened to the podcast idea? Well, it's still a great idea. I'd like to do it, but my Patreon money has dropped below my target goal by a substantial amount. So I can't really justify it. And as far as content, like, it would be a lot more work and time, and it would be less videos and just a lot of time without any.
And to be honest, Devon, admit it, you're feeling a bit self-confident because of the fact that the Jamie show is out there and it's kicking ass.
The competition is too thick. But it's a great idea and it's fun and I'd like to do it, but I just need to be able to rationalize it, justify it, and maybe down the road. When people talk about racism, they have to go back to the past because there is no racism in the present. Well, there is various forms of racial hatred and dislike and coming in all directions. So race is still very much a real issue. It's just, the classical forms of racism are all dead and gone. And it's much harder to spot and identify and condemn a more sophisticated brand of racial division and racial sort of tribalism. Like, for example, one of the reasons I think people don't refer to racism against white people as racism. And that's why they've come up with terms like reverse racism or just, oh, that can't exist, is because there's very few people who even dare to think that they're superior to white people.
Yeah.
Like the people of color who hate white people and are pro-diversity and, you know, less whites and fuck those whites, they're not really claiming to be superior to white people. Even the comedians, and they make fun of white people. Oh, white people are like this. Black people are cool. They're like this. White people are honky squares, and they're like this. Even you cannot look at history. You cannot look at the world around you and think this group of people is less than any other group. It's almost an impossible case, not only to make, but to even think. People don't even think that. And that's why saying someone is racist towards whites sounds so weird. It sounds so weird that people don't even accept it as a proper usage of language. I find that to be very interesting. And there's this assumption that people, oh, racism. Oh, yeah, you're talking about blacks, right? Because blacks are inferior. So they just assume. Like it's. Remember, I did this racism in animation, and they had British gorillas, literally voiced by British actors, white British actors, but they were gorillas. And this regressive twat gets out and goes, "That's racist." To blacks, like he assumed because they're gorillas that they were making fun of blacks. Meanwhile, they were white British actors doing the voices. I mean, it says everything. Oh my lord! Yeah, Cult of Dusty is being mentioned in the chat. He's an SJW hillbilly. Yeah, really.
I think a lot of people who talk about shitting on white people and things like that. I think a lot of them are just jumping on the bandwagon of it, trying to seem cool and whatnot, and be in the in crowd.
I think part of it's the guilt of success. It's the guilt of I want everything to be equal, but it's not, and it's probably my fault. It's a weird thing.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. So guilt plays into it and things like that.
Guilt is everywhere. The Jews have guilt. The Catholics have guilt.
Yeah.
Guilt is like a weapon in many cultures. I don't get it.
And those are the two things in life. I think two things that everyone needs to accept as part of biology is fear and guilt, and they can do amazing things, but at the same time, terrible things.
Yeah, I mean, some of their ideas, some of their motivations seem to be well-intentioned. That's the tragedy of it all. But when they play it out and when it ramps up, it becomes so grotesque and just backwards that it needs to be pointed out. Now, somebody says, what are my thoughts on Tree of Logic? Yeah, cool girl. I've talked to her several times. Went on her channel. She's gone on mine. We had a German connection. She's a former cop, so I'm pro-cop. She's politically not aligned with me, but she's racially open to talking about race and yeah, she keeps it real. So I'm a fan of hers. Nice woman, very nice woman.
I've only seen a couple of her videos, but yeah, she seems lovely.
Wakanda isn't working out. What's going on, Wakanda? Was there a terrorist attack in Wakanda? No, Wakanda is the fictional city in the Black Panther. Yeah.
See, I don't even know. I'm not a comic book nerd. I don't know.
You got to go see it. I know. No, nobody knows it. Shots fired. Somebody says Tommy Robinson is no legend.
Go watch some Tommy Robinson videos.
Oh, because he says I'd love to
hear people's views on it. Just go watch him talking about stuff.
I'd love to hear a conversation between Devon and Tommy Robinson. Both men are legends. Legends. Reminds me of Legends of the Fall. Well, Legend is a bit steep. I'm not ready to take that praise. I'll take Emperor of Analogies. But yeah,
you are a legend, Devon. Just accept it.
It's true. In my own mind. Yeah, it's all relative. It's all like, how does one judge how you view yourself? Like, here's the thing. I view myself based on how I view myself, not based on external feedback. So I don't care how many numbers I got. If I got 100,000 new subs overnight, I wouldn't think of myself differently.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, if I lost my channel, which I have before, multiple times, I wouldn't think of myself differently. I wouldn't say, "Oh, I ain't shit." Why? Because I don't have a channel anymore. People don't tell me I'm good, so I'm therefore not good. And I think this comes as a result of the fact that I'm older than everybody. No, the fact that I'm older than young people, and I got into YouTube as a man of severe age.
Mm.
So I'd already been through the battles of self-esteem. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
Because if you're a young person and you get internet fame on any level, it's going straight to your head.
Oh, we've seen it time and time again.
Oh yeah, there's no way to stop that. Apparently, David is saying that Chris is going to conquer the ladyboys of Thailand, and now needs to move on. Yeah, I don't know. Dangerfield is.
That's why he's off to Cambodia.
He's got a very loose policy on ladyboys. It's incredibly loose to the point of. I don't think there is a policy. I think he's pro ladyboy. Joe talked to.
I'm sure he's told me. But
Joe talked to Tommy Robinson on the Skeptic Fence show. Like Joe Schmidt.
Yep, Joe Schmidt.
Joe Schmidt. Schmitty boy talked to Tommy. Hey, Tommy, it's Schmitty from down the block.
From New Jersey, mate.
Hey, come over here. Come over there. Get over here. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, God, I think we're all missing. The silence is deafening that the Skeptic Fence has left a gaping hole in our hearts and souls.
It left us on a massive cliff edge because they had Tommy Robinson on, and then that was it. Over.
Was he the last one?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure he was the last.
He couldn't keep a co-host to save his life, and it just got stale, and it was tired. And he would not only would he regurgitate and repeat shit that I had said, he would then repeat it several times on the same show, and just filibuster, and it was just, oh God, it was shit. But I mean, we need content. That's the thing. I mean, you have kind of half-ass shows popping up left and right now, where people just want streams. They want anything. Like, just give me something new.
Yeah.
New format, new voices, new conversations. Like, there's a thirst out there, and there's not that many people stepping up to fill the holes. Demand is big. Supply is waning. Devon,
definitely on this content right now, yeah.
I miss the Hitchens tribute the most. Is my Hitchens tribute down? Oh no, the Hitchens tribute from the Skeptic Fence show. Did you enjoy Howard the Duck? I know it's a bad film, but it's a good bad film. I think it's just a shit bad film. I mean, I remember the rock group from Howard the Duck, and I think wasn't there a black girl in there? It was bad. It was 80s bad. Yeah, Howard the Duck. It was an actual duck, like a puppet duck. It was an alien duck. He comes in on an egg, and he lands in the 1980s, and he's like a womanizer. I don't know. I honestly forgot the plot, but it was total crap.
All right, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Who did a whole thing on Devon?
I think I've seen clips of this on YouTube. Yeah.
He said Esau can fill the hole. David thinks Esau can fill the hole left by the Skeptic Fence.
Well, he knows how to grow a channel, and he's growing one right now, isn't he?
I think Esau is why we're not spiraling out of orbit in the solar system. I think we have to really geolocate wherever Esau is on the planet at a certain time, and like reposition 100 Chinese people to counterbalance the weight of that fat fuck. Otherwise, we're gonna accelerate into just some careen off path, hit some asteroid.
Hey Devon, I need to quickly go for a piece. I'll be back in 2 secs. You have to entertain everyone on your own.
No. If you leave me, I swear it's going to be dead silence.
I'm sure you'll be fine, mate. I'll be back in a sec.
All right. Oh God, I think he's gone. Hi, everyone. It's I don't have my script with me. So we got Extreme Cinema in the house. We've got Dangerfield. Let me mod you, my man. Let me moderate you. There he is. Holowiki, Holodicky. He's earned a mod. Sing to you. Jeff Holiday's gay. Yeah, he is full on gay. I'm actually. What would I do without YouTube? Oh fuck. Yeah, it's an interesting question. The answer is probably you'd have to do something. I'd do something to make money, either work in advertising, video editing. I'd probably get into motion graphics more heavily. I might dabble and see. I have a lot of creative impulses, but like most artists, if just to be creative is like that's great, but you got bills to pay. I would love to be way into cryptocurrency. I'd love to be like a day trader. I'd love to be an internet marketer, more so than I currently am. I'd love to have just streams of income where I didn't have to, well, A, make a bunch of money, but then B, not worry about money so that I'd have more time to do the things I want. And that's the answer to the question why I do YouTube, which is that is the thing I want to do. I want to make things. I want to express myself. I want to partake in conversations. I want to, probe and make jokes and just for a creative person to be creating on a daily basis it's soothing. It's what we want. It's all you could ask for. And so to be paid for the thing that does all those things for you and satisfies you in all these ways, that's amazing. So I love that aspect of it. Devin, you're going to pop over to Bodia sometime. Bodia, is that the nickname? Yeah, how long is the trip? I'll pop over there and just,
Probably
can you imagine,
not very far.
can you imagine me finding Chris Dangerfield in Cambodia? I'd feel like Apocalypse Now. I'm trying to, if you don't know who Depeche Mode is, there's no way you know Apocalypse Now. But the people in the chat.
No, that does ring a bell. That really does ring a bell.
There's no chance you know it. It's a movie from the 70s. But it's a famous movie. I can make you Devon coin. Yeah. I'm sure Carter's going to start mining Devon coin for me. Is that a bird?
Say again?
Was that a bird?
No, that was my stomach rolling.
Dangerfield, I'm in Tokyo. God, everybody's from around the world. I actually got a letter today from a girl from Costa Rica, and she's like, I've been listening to you for years. Really love your stuff. Just got some advice. I'm asking for some advice. I'm trying to move to Scotland. How can I do it? Okay, she's worried that Costa Rica apparently.
Whoa, hang on. She's moving from somewhere that's hot and warm to the coldest, northernest shithole ever. What?
Well.
Don't move to Scotland, people. It's too cold.
Apparently they have a right-wing religious leadership coming into Costa Rica, like anti-abortion, sort of just super religious, and she's over it. And she's like, I got to get out of here. So, hey, Devin, what happened to all your videos? Is there another channel I don't know about? What? Yeah, I have a channel called Atheism is Unstoppable. You can go check it out. All my new videos are there, and if you haven't seen them, you can binge watch them. It's all good.
Yeah, you got loads of channels.
I got many channels. Yeah. I think tomorrow, I guess it's late now, but tomorrow I'm going to be making a mashup, kind of a remix mashup of Nirvana, obviously, Drain You. I've been doing some research. I found a bunch of tracks. I love that song. I'm in a mood. I've got to make my Drain You remix, and I will be doing that. So, I don't know. I like dicking around and just doing fun shit like that. Also, I got to go see how people are reacting to my latest video about the Black Panther, which I just uploaded. Oh my god, I have a fun one. Tariq Nasheed reacting to the Black Panther movie. It's fucking amazing. It's amazing. I'll give you a spoiler. You know who he is fond of in the thing? He's fond of not the Black Panther, which you think he'd gravitate towards that character. He's fond of the villain from the movie.
What? Okay. Why? Devon Tracey. Oh. We've lost communication. It's not me. I'm still alive. Ooh, my stomach is rumbling. Can anyone hear me? I think it's just... Okay, so it's just me. All right, well, I'm taking over. It's time for the JB Show. Okay, no, I can't do that because Amy isn't here. Sing a song. I don't do songs. I'm terrible at singing. Alf Benny's here. Face fuck. I'm not singing. David, you know, maybe I'll sing for you when we do that live stream. Then I can prepare and pick out a song. Yeah, I got my tea. My favorite munchie food. Ooh. Good question. Chocolate fingers. Love chocolate fingers. Okay, we've definitely lost Devon now. He's gone. Send him a message. See what's going on. His laptop's probably crashed. Amy's probably asleep, mate. That's where she is. That's why we can't have a proper JB show. Jay is unstoppable. Unstoppable, bitches. Oh, hang on. I heard a ding. 2 seconds. Devon Tracey. So I'm still on your stream because it's still live and I'm entertaining. Oh, you're there. You're back. All right. I'll meet you there. Hello?
Hey, man. So,
hey.
Yeah, I'm just checking the comments. I don't know what happened. My internet just died.
That's all right. I tried to take over and entertain everyone while you were gone.
Frightening, isn't it? Frightening prospect.
Big shoes to fill right there. You have got some massive shoes.
I'd like to say it's good that everybody showed up, and I'd like to say hello to all y'all and thank you for coming. And I'm going to do more of these. I'm going to talk to some of the Discord folk and the AIU people and get to know them and just have good little chats.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's good to see Alf Benny. We got Talking Donkey, Paul, Chris, Carter, Finitrap. I mean, Chris, Holowiki, Billy Bong, John, Extreme Cinema, David. It's not modded. What? So it's just nice to see. Like it's crazy
all the
because
awesome folks.
Well, but it adds up. Like you sit there and you think, oh yeah, Carter. Oh yeah. So and so, oh Billy, oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them. Western Cape ran out of water. What is he talking about? The Cape of Good Hope? Who's running out of water in Africa?
I think there was something. I think I heard something about South Africa and fresh water, but I'm not sure.
I don't understand it. It's very strange. Okay.
I have to look into it. But no, it's great. Just being able to. When you actually have conversations with genuine people, you do genuinely know that they care in their way and that the way that they can express it, even if it is just across the internet.
Well, it is interesting because these faces and these names, they do pop up, and it's not by an accident. They make the choice every time. Like if you subscribe to a channel, you could easily lose interest or unsubscribe or just not be active, not be a creator. So a lot of these people, they don't just take part; they actually create stuff on their own and they contribute, and it's a weird, ever evolving thing. It's all the different relationships, all the different acquaintances you have, they slowly morph and they add, and there's fights here and there, and some people get pushed off the ledge or go insane at some point. But there's a real core of a lot of really cool people that I've discovered on here.
No, I 100% agree with that. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Discord is only the nail in the coffin with that thing, because Discord is just an ongoing conversation. It's an ongoing phone call, basically. Yeah. Like you just pop in on from time to time, and it's an amazing technology when you really think about it. For free. Imagine there's no cost to this. And I guess we were
Yeah, it's all
inoculated.
free.
Like Skype sort of got us used to that concept of
Mm.
just a free phone call across the world, but not with the ease that Discord brings. That's kind of amazing. So the tip of the hat to the gamer dorks out there for getting that whole thing going. But
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's just I am astonished by. Okay, wait a minute. Western Cape Province in South Africa is running out of water. Okay, well, I would talk to the black leaders and ask them what the hell, because that is a problem. But I wonder how much more coverage the Flint, Michigan water crisis is going to get than that one, because it's not that sexy. Yeah,
Can't be
Wakanda.
politicized as much.
Well, I think this Wakanda thing is going to be around for a while. It's going to be a meme. It's going to be a concept. It's going to be basically Atlantis for blacks. It's going to be a mythical ideal that they can aspire to. But if they're looking to do it in Africa, good luck to you. I think you have a better chance at making Atlanta Wakanda. But I'm so sweet. I'm a sweetheart. A total sweetie.
Oh, you are. You're like a big, tall, soft sweetie.
Yeah, I am. I admit it. I have a soft spot in my heart for these gimpy. Well, the thing is, most of them are mentally ill. Like 95% of the people in this chat are mentally ill. And so I feel like I'm a caretaker of an insane asylum at times.
I think we've all got mental health issues.
Everybody does. I mean, everybody's clinically ill. You're something's wrong with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you realize how stigmatized therapy was and just self-assessment? Do you think Leave It to Beaver's dad? Oh, sorry, it's another reference you're never going to get.
Does sound familiar though.
No. Let me put it in your terms. Just the sort of lunch pail working dad, square, just sort of boring, vanilla, conservative guy. Do you think he's telling his children like, "Hey, we're gonna put you in therapy. I'd like to, start a diary. You need to talk to a professional about just what's going on in your life." It's just not what people do.
No.
Especially in the UK, they're worse than America with this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't talk about your problems. Stiff upper lip. Don't be emotional. Yeah.
It's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of defeat. You're saying, "Oh, you have a problem? Oh, really?" It's just because these people are hard. I mean, I look at my girlfriend's parents. They're hard, but because they were raised by super hard people. Like they were raised by people who lived through wars and depressions.
Yeah.
And so that hardness gets sort of watered down through the generations a little bit, but not completely. Like you'll still have some residual, like, damn, that's old school. Like I was just watching My Kitchen Rules. It's a cooking show here in Australia, a very popular show here. And it's a show I watched with my girlfriend, and they had these two Russians on. And this one 26-year-old Russian, and they're cooking this kind of meatballs wrapped in cabbage, and they sort of boil it. It's kind of gnarly, but she wanted to make sure the meat was good before she cooked it, and so she eats some raw meat, and she's like, "Hey, let me just try this." And you're seeing this like beautiful redheaded Russian 26-year-old eating raw meat. Oh, and it's because her mother did it and her grandmother did it, and they have no problem with it. So it's like hardcore traditions like that will seep through the generations. Do you have any old school elements to you, aspects to you? You do drink and smoke and hang out with gays.
Well, the latter one isn't something that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you kept that under the.
No, I meant just like general British society, though. But you drink a lot of tea. It's a stereotype.
What do you call a woman's vagina?
I suppose. Sorry, just put vagina, pussy. I love a bit of pussy, me.
No, okay,
love it.
but that's if you're talking to me. What do you call a woman's vagina to a woman?
Yeah, it's pussy.
You say
pussy
to a woman.
Sounds sweet.
Okay,
vagina sounds medical.
Give me a situation where you have addressed a woman's pussy to her. Give me a sentence. What does that look like?
Unfortunately, the only one that I can think of right now when I have said it was this one time when I was in a strip club with a bunch of mates. Actually, no, I was entertaining a client one night and we ended up at a strip club. And I kid you not, the stripper put her pussy on my face. And I was like, damn, that pussy tastes sweet. Because I was like,
Okay, but wait.
wow, this is the nicest pussy I've ever tasted in my life.
I think it's funny that I mentioned how do you say this to a woman, and you immediately went to a stripper story. So you only talk to strippers about pussy?
No, that was just the one that came to mind straight away, though. I just had to share it.
Okay, so if you were to talk to Chrissy about her pussy, how would you phrase it?
What are we talking about? What's wrong with it? Or
okay, so like,
just want it slaying?
Yeah. No, Chrissy's saying, I'm feeling a bit of pain. And somebody goes, where? And she's like, down there. And you're trying to ask her if she's talking about her pussy. How would you say it?
I would probably be like, are you talking about your pussy or cunt?
What?
Depends on the mood. Yeah.
You would not say, are you talking about your cunt?
I would.
I'm going to say that to Chrissy. Next time she says anything, I'm going to cut her off and say, are you talking about your cunt?
Are you talking about your cunt, mate?
Get your cunts out, love.
Your vagina.
There's no way you're saying cunt, and there's no way you're saying vagina. So basically, we're left with...
It's pussy.
Yeah, vagina's off the table.
Cunt is for when you're talking to your mates. Oh, why are you bitching about your cunt for? Stop talking about your cunt.
Pussy sounds rough. It sounds dirty. It sounds pussy.
What? No, pussy sounds sweet. It sounds gorgeous. It sounds
pussy
tempting.
Maybe pussy fat. I don't know. I'm trying to... You're fanny, Billy Bong says. You're fanny. Would you ever...
No. Whenever I hear the word fanny, all I can think of is an American dude walking around with a bum bag going, this is my fanny pack.
How about snatch? Where's snatch on the hierarchy of acceptable pussy terms?
Oh, that's when you're like, talking negatively about a girl, I would say. I'd be like, mate, you don't want to go near that snatch. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, we should rank these terms and figure out because I think like you'd be better off with saying like your hoo-hoo or something like cutesy like that.
Your hoo-hoo? We're not 5, Devon.
Why not?
I just looked at the chat actually, and someone said twat, but we don't use twat for vagina or pussy. Twat is you're a fucking twat, mate. Why are you acting like a twat?
I think axe wound is underrated.
Sorry, I think what?
Axe wound?
Axe wound, yes. The gash.
Vertical smile. Yeah, any roast beef reference.
Smile, I love that.
Yeah. I don't know. They need to come up with a word. I mean, honestly, we need to innovate the language because, like, think of this: the word "fap." The word "fap" is so much more palatable than masturbate. Wank. How would you stack "fap" up against any of the other words to describe that?
I would say "fap" is better than a lot of the rest.
Fap is. You almost want to put "fap" on your resume. Fap is so.
To be honest, I prefer stroking the python because it sounds dangerous and risky.
Fap is like as cute and charming as the word nom. You know that little Japanese word.
Fap and wank sound like you're a 13-year-old kid experiencing your first boner of your life.
Okay, but you know this nom 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 that when you're hungry and you want to eat a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I've seen
it. Right, N-O-M, right? So so when Esau goes and eats, whatever all-you-can-eat buffet he's at, and he's just scarfing down, whatever.
I imagine him making that noise.
Right, but if he comes back and goes, "Oh, I just totally nommed," I was nomming. Then it's like, weird. Oh, it's cute, it's sweet. I'm telling you, words are power. It's all.
Oh yeah, definitely they are, and they, in my opinion, they shape how you think about stuff and the way you put it together and the words
and that's why.
Say. It's not what you say, it's the way you say it, basically.
Yes, it is all about the marketing, and that's why things like anti-Muslim versus pro-human versus pro-women, it's however you want to phrase this. And politicians know the game is won and lost in how you're selling the idea. Is it the death tax? Is it the estate tax? Is it what are we talking about? Which one sounds better? Is it pro-life? Is it pro-death? Who's pro-death?
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. How we, let's say we're pro-assisted suicide. Do you think we should say we're pro-assisted suicide? No. We should not have the word
No.
suicide in our stance. We should not say
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
pro-death. We should not say. So what are they? The pro-dignity in dying. I'm sure they've come up with something.
I think we have like a group that goes by something like Dignity in Dying group or something along those lines. That's
I belong to the Dignity and Fapping group. Dignified Fap, and of course there's the no Fap. You got Rowan. He's no Fapping.
He is. What's that all about? Also inhaling colloidal silver. What's that about?
You know what's crazy with him? He's a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Think of this. He's a virgin who goes by no Fap, who's in favor of eternal life. I mean, if anything, if he was just like a player slaying gash everywhere, and by the way, gash is the correct term, you should say. Chrissy, is it your gash?
Is it your gash?
So, if he was like out, he was a ladies' man, he's getting all sorts of tail, and then he wants eternal life, then it makes sense. But he's no fapping, and he's a virgin, and he wants to live forever. It's like, what? You're blowing my mind, Rowan. Yet again.
And what blows my mind is that he, when it comes to his eternal life, he wants to stay in his own body.
Yeah, he's a body.
And me, I'm all about upgrading it, getting a better
because
one.
your body is shit, right? Well, you bloated your body out. You were so fat.
I'm thinking more like I want advancements. I want to be able to see it in the dark. So if I could move my consciousness from this body into a new body, I would design my new body to be able to see in the dark, breathe underwater for longer. You know, I want to upgrade humanity, upgrade the human body.
Like he said, breathe, breathe. BREAVE.
Breathe.
Say it again.
Breathe. I want to breathe.
Say bereavement.
Bereavement.
Say breathe.
Breathe.
Say the mayor of the city.
Oh, I hate saying that word. The mayor of that city.
A female horse is called a?
Mayor.
The leader of a city is called the?
Yeah, I can't do it. It's going to come out as mayor again.
Leader of a city?
Yeah.
What?
Mayor. No, I can't do it.
What the fuck was that? You sound like George W. Bush. How about them Cowboys? No, so it's a mayor and a mayor.
Yeah, mayor and a mayor.
Okay, what if a female horse was the leader of a city? What would that be?
Hey, I don't live. This ain't America. We don't elect animals as our local town or city representatives.
Oh my god. Well, your accent is a delight. It is. It's like my own real life Harry Potter cast member. Why didn't your parents? If your mom wasn't an alcoholic bitch, she should have put you up for one of those roles. You're the right age.
Sorry. Oh, what acting?
Yeah, Harry Potter. You could have been Longbottom, something like that.
Mate, fuck knows what would have happened if. I mean, don't get me wrong. I take responsibility in my own failures as a child and not doing what I should have done and stuff like that. And yeah, I think if I had made my own choices differently, yeah, things could have been different for me right now. When it comes to my mum, she would have to, she would basically not have to be drinking. So then my dad wouldn't have to be either out working all the time and, you know, bringing the bread home.
Let me ask you this. If for Christmas this year or for your birthday, your mom emailed you and said, Jay, I've done some thinking. I realize now I'm an alcoholic bitch and I apologize and I love you. What would you respond with?
Yeah, so I've heard that I don't know how many times before.
And you don't buy it?
No, not at all.
Eternal Life fan is here, Rowan, the one and only. He's already modded. He said, I heard all that. I hear everything. I am the internet. Oh my God. I'd love it. If Rowan was plugged into the Matrix and he was, I want Rowan to be my Siri. I want Rowan to be my GPS. I want Rowan
you want
to
him
be
in your ear
clock.
24 hours a day, basically.
I want Rowan on standby. I want to have like a Vulcan mind meld with Rowan, where we just tap in and I want to dream with him. I'm about to go to sleep, and I want to just wake up and be in maybe a graveyard with Rowan, and he's going to be shaking his head going, "This is terrible. Look at all these losers here. They should have spent more time going for eternal life." I'm behind on some of his videos. I got to catch up.
I watched half of his most recent one, but I haven't finished it. It's all about art and carbon.
Oh, I was watching his social justice one. I think he was got a little bit mad that people called him a social justice warrior because he doesn't think we should be mean to trans people. We should call trans people by whatever pronouns they want. He's pro-trans, in other words.
With that one, it's so simple, really, isn't it? My view on it is I'm going to call you whatever I think you are, and if you say, "Oh, I identify," that's fine. I'm going to call you it, but you can't have law saying if I call you it by the wrong pronoun that I should go to jail. That's the bit that's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's all obviously a step too far, but I think it's just weird. People that want to transition, people think they're trapped in the wrong body or the wrong gender. I think it's profoundly weird. I mean, I think it's statistically weird. I think it's psychologically weird. I think it's physically weird. And yeah, and it's such a weird thing because people will hear me say that and go, "Oh, you're not 1,000% pro-trans and rooting for trans people and encouraging other people to be trans?" They're like, no, it's weird. It always will be weird. And
definitely,
you could say, look, it's your life, consenting adults, do whatever you want. If you want to carve yourself up and take hormones and just alter everything about yourself, go buck wild. I'm thinking it's weird though. Seeing Bruce Jenner walk around as a lady is never going to be just something I'm like, yeah, that's the right way. That's the way it should be. That's normal. That's good. And it could be good for them, but it's still going to be, I'm still going to tilt my head and be like, nice, real nice.
Oh yeah, there's definitely no sexual attraction whatsoever.
Oh, but from what gender? Which gender is supposed to be attracted to Bruce Jenner?
I have no idea.
See, I think, is he gay? Here's what I don't understand. Caitlyn Jenner. Is Caitlyn Jenner into men or women? And is that gay?
It's got to be women.
No, I think he's into men. How could you transition to being a woman? And is he a lesbian? Like, is Bruce Jenner a lesbian? That's what I'm asking. And why is this known? Why don't we know this?
She is. I don't know.
It's incredible. It's like blowing my mind. Like, the guy transitions to being a girl, but is now into who? Who is he into? Himself, clearly. Like any good Kardashian, he's into himself. But does he want dick or gash? That's my question. Simple question. But Oprah's not going to ask him that. Diane Sawyer's not going to ask him that.
Of course not. Of course not.
No.
It's all going to be about how was your transition and what would you say to give confidence to other people that want to transition and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Give them an award. Give them like
annoyed me. It's not just that question, but it's the question of because the trans people I've met and spoke to, they all say the same thing: is if they were warned about the emotional and mental stuff that they're going to go through, just not even before they've had the operation, but through the hormone stage and everything else. Those sort of questions never get talked about either.
Yeah, it's weird, but you could tell that people are they're so ready to dabble with their own biology. The second we have the option to do some serious altercations, whether it's kind of half-ass eugenics, making babies better, brighter, smarter, taller, whatever, or just enhancing your system. I mean, who would not want an upgrade? If somebody said, hey, we got a better memory, you take this pill and it bumps up your ability to keep memories by 30%. Who's not taking that pill?
Exactly.
Right? I bet you the religious people would be the holdouts. they'd be, I don't know, science is, I'm going to stick with what God gave me. I don't know. But, Jay, it's 3 a.m. in the morning for me, and I'm going to go to bed, I think. And it's a pleasure talking to you. I think there's been some people watching us, stalking us. But I think we covered some bases, did we not?
We did, yeah.
And
we sure
are you content with, did you get everything off your chest that you wanted to?
Yeah, I just love chatting with you and talk to you about anything, mate.
Well, you know what I said to you the other day?
You say many things to me. So.
Well, I said it at the end of a stream. We were at the Discord. I was streaming, and I professed something to you. Do you remember what I said?
You told me you love me.
Did you just drop your tea?
No, I just knocked a teapot. See, teapot, mate. I just knocked it, but it's fine. Sorry, no. Which stream? I'm trying to think now.
Exactly.
The one that where I gate crashed you on Discord.
Jay, I told you that I loved you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that because I love you too. It's at the end of most of my videos.
I meant every word of it.
So did I.
Love you.
I love you too, Devon Tracey.
I love you the way a man loves the man next to him in a foxhole. I love you the way a man loves his doctor when he asks him to bend over and sticks his finger up his ass. So yeah, thank you for coming on the stream. It was lovely having you. And if you're new to Jay Turner, reach out to him. He's around, and he's what you see is what you get. So he's a good bloke, and he is the War Kettle on Twitter. Yeah. And he is the War Kettle. Oh God, he's got a million podcasts. He's the Jamie Show. He's the War Kettle. He's from Cyprus with Love. He's the Dutch-British Treaty. What is it?
The Anglo-Dutch Treaty.
There it is. With Tice. Tice made an appearance in my last video, by the way. Check it out.
Oh shit, did he?
Yeah. Him and his trainer. It's pretty fun. The sequence.
Oh shit, is it that trainer, is it?
Yeah, it's a secret weapon.
Yeah, I know the one. I know it.
And thank you, everybody, for showing up, and hope you had fun in the chat. And yeah, good times had by all. Definitely. I wish you a good night.
Have sweet dreams, Devon.
Thank you. No, but seriously, I love you.
I love you too.